Hey everybody, J-Man here in the Danger Room, and it is Thursday night, so we're going to be talking about comic books, X-Men mostly, and some of the major releases from DC. I have my usual panel here with me to discuss all this stuff. Plus, we'll open it up if anybody wants to talk about other things or whatever's going on in the geek fandom. Then we'll go through that. Let's bring in my buddy 1407 Greymalkin. How's it going?
I'm good. Glad to be here.
All right, let's and then Steve is here with us a bit earlier today. How's it going?
The real Lex Luthor.
Yes, I know the real Lex Luthor. Okay, so there wasn't a very many things going on in X-Men. It was only 2 books this week. It looks like this is going to be Excalibur and Marauders. It looks like this is going to be the way it is for a bit now, right? Like it looks like there's 2 a week. It seems for now.
2, 3 a week. I've been checking the next couple of weeks. 2, maybe 3. We're not getting any X-Men, and this is our second Excalibur book in like 2 weeks. So, and we're not.
That came out.
Yeah, we're not getting anything to the gala.
Yes, everyone's leading up to that. James, hello.
Hey, James.
What are you going to learn from us today? I don't know. Nothing that's going to be useful in any job or anything. If you go to a comic book convention, you might learn some cool stuff from that.
Hulk high. James Hulk. Like, I'm getting Married with Children vibes now. Like,
oh my god, but that show jumped the shark after Steve left. Coincidentally, Steve, not this Steve, the other Steve Darcy.
You know what? I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
You like Jefferson?
Jefferson was hilarious because like it looked like he was cheating on his wife the entire time, but he wasn't.
He was too pronounced a character at that point. They were going too far with him. It was like he was just like the village idiot. Like it's a part with Steve, who was like, he was like the quote unquote normal person, right? Who dealt with the Bundys. He was like, like that foil, where Jefferson was just a goof, and it's like, he's just another idiot. Like, who cares?
Well, he was a trophy husband. You got to remember, because he was a good-looking guy who kept himself in shape, but like he was more like Al. It's just prettier, so he can get away with it more.
Right.
I like the idea that Al and Peggy could corrupt the neighbors who were just regular people, but Jefferson seemed kind of stupid, so he was very easy to manipulate, whereas Steve slowly.
Marcy too.
Yeah. And then it was Peggy and Marcy versus Steve and Al or whatever. Yeah. But then Steve came back every so often, which
that was great.
That show did go on for quite a long time. It probably could have ended.
Years, man. Good for them.
Good for them.
Hey, those actors will get paid off of it. Good for them.
And they had Mila Jovovich in there as the French girl, and she's like, I don't mind if you peep.
Right. David Boreanaz also was on it too.
Oh, nice.
Matt LeBlanc.
Yes.
A lot of people came through there.
So Matt LeBlanc was Vinny Verducci, and then they had their own series, Top of the Heap, and that didn't go anywhere. But it wasn't too bad.
Hey, it's like, and also it's one of those shows where like you could still watch it and like it's still funny, but it's bad funny for the wrong reasons. It's like No Ma'am.
Yeah, No Ma'am. That was so funny. Yeah, it was basically it was the woman. What's the thing from Little Rascals? The He-Man
haters. And Al was just so cold with his insults. He hated his job. He hated his family.
Yeah.
Everybody just like throw it, but he can give it as much as he can get it.
Yeah. No, he was good.
Do you remember when what's her name with Peg was doing cooking lessons? She was doing cooking lessons, and she made that rack of lamb. And then like she went to bed, and there was this big cooking competition, and Al got up in the middle of the night. He's like, how am I supposed to sleep with that woman in the bed with me, right? Like, he's all complaining. And then he's like, oh, what's in the fridge? And he just finds the ribs. and he eats them, and he literally falls asleep with his face in the ribs. And she wakes him up. He's like, he's got ribs hanging out of his mouth.
That was great. Like,
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to reboot it, but like nowadays, I don't think it would get that far.
No, because if you say one bad joke, and then that's like I don't think any of these people can survive anymore. Like when we were young, we were watching like Andrew Dice Clay and Eddie Murphy, and like Eddie Murphy was like killer, like it's like, and then it's like all of a sudden he became like this kid's movie star. I'm like, what happened, buddy? Like Beverly Hills Cop. That I watched that movie I can probably do most of the movie's dialogue. Nice. I've seen it so many times. Part 2 is good too, and it's like now he's like this kid. He's like a kid actor or whatever.
Oh, that happened with Richard Pryor.
The family, yeah.
Richard Pryor, I know. Richard Pryor was the best too, and it's like same thing.
The only person who didn't do it was probably George Carlin. He never went full family. He just like
that's true.
He was just that dirty old man who just said he'll drop something really deep sometimes.
Yeah, he's still kind of in there. So there's a few people have kind of survived or whatever. So let's talk. Let's talk about Marauders, because I don't like Marauders at all. Did you like Marauders?
I was actually okay with this issue today. I mean, like, the Verendi, they make a really, really good argument for beating your children.
I know. I can't stand them. I absolutely cannot stand them.
I can't stand either.
I don't like the woman either, Jen or whatever.
The one who lied on too. Yeah, the one who lied on the mutants and said like they took my husband when her husband was like super pro mutant. He's like, oh yeah, I love these guys.
Yeah. Her husband's a piece of crap too.
It's fun. And the Reavers, they're just, or I like to call them the deluded losers, because they were left behind, left for dead. Like, no, we didn't kill you. We didn't kill you because we left you for dead. Not because we thought we were being arrogant. It's because we have laws that say we can't kill you.
Yeah. So basically, the mutants. So Steve, just to catch you up a little bit. Basically all mutants have been pardoned at this point. And you can go to live on Krakoa, and it's basically. Sorry.
You said Krakoa.
Krakoa.
I thought it was Krakoa. I like.
Krakoa. Okay. I say Krakoa.
Okay.
Tomato. I don't know what's the real pronunciation.
You say potato.
Krakoa.
I say vodka.
Krakoa. You can guess you Krakoa. And you can have a great. It's like Madripoor. I don't know. Madripoor.
I like Madripoor now.
I like crack. I just say Krakoa just because I don't know. It just sounds, but that's just the way I say it. I used to. What was the? I was doing my Tarzan thing the other day, last week with one of the authors of. Yeah, he was great, and they say Tarzan, like right versus like I would say Tarzan, like as two, but it's Tarzan, right? Sort of like it's like one. If you watch the old Johnny Westmuller movies or whatever, they say Tarzan. And that's sort of the way he was pronouncing it as well. So I'm like, am I saying it wrong? I'm like, whatever. I'm just going to say it how I say it. I also say Ghidra instead of Ghidorah. And the reason for that is that the VHS tape spelled it Ghidra, Ghidrah, Ghidra, the three-headed monster. And that's sort of how they used to say that. And then later they would say Ghidorah. So it's King Ghidorah, which is the way. And then same with Gamera and Gojira. Right. And and Mothra is the way you say, but I just say Mothra and Ghidra, and so it just that's anyway. Whatever.
Yes, you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like I'm an old school guy. Like it's like I did say we used to say Ryu.
Yes, I say Ryu too.
Yeah, so it's Ryu.
Ryu.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
But whatever.
No last name.
Yeah, and it's like Zangief, right? It depends on your thing. Like I'm Croatian, so my parents are Croatian. My family's Croatian, so like I can do some of the accents, like better, like those Slavic kind of. Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, Krakow. So basically, you get a full part. You can join the island, and you're good. but then there's certain laws. There's no hurt. There's no killing any mankind. So no men are killed. By men we mean humans.
Right.
No humans. What else? What else? Well, the Quiet Council is basically the ruling body, so they decide all the matters. What are the other rules? What other rules are there?
Kill no man.
Kill no man.
Also, respect the land.
Yes, yeah,
because they're on a living mutant island. So,
Right.
like, and they were talking about what about people like how do we like housing rights, property rights, and like no, we're not doing that. Respect the land will provide.
Yeah.
And then the last one is it's kind of cheeky. Make more mutants.
Right.
Wink.
Wink. Line them up, Emma, Jean.
I'm waiting for a pregnancy. Seriously, why haven't we have any pregnant X-Men yet?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So
right,
now I wonder if you guys are. It's the main game.
It's a fake language, yeah. So exactly, yeah. So yeah, I mean Tarzan. It's hard not to say the way it was when you were a kid.
Yeah.
You know, when I say I've seen like when I say Tarzan 1,000 times or like 50,000 times as a kid. That it's like same with Ghidra. I can't, and also I still call this new movie King Kong versus Godzilla. I'm still trying to say Godzilla versus Kong to differentiate them, but same with Kitty Pryde. I still say Kitty Pryde. I know they're trying to drive home this Kate. It's not working.
I thought her name was the Red Queen. Now I still
they keep saying Kate. Like in this one, she's like it's Kate, and I'm like, I can't.
Shut up, Kitty.
I know. I can't not say Kitty.
So why? So is Kitty just too juvenile a name, and it's got to be Kate because that's more of a grown-up name?
I think probably. So honestly, before Kitty Pryde, I didn't even know Kitty was a name. Like,
yeah.
Oh, you thought it was like Shadowcat, and they're just calling her Kitty?
Yeah, I like Shadowcat. Shadowcat is a cool name. It works for her, but people don't like that. Like, it's really hard to.
I don't get like how people are okay with certain names but not others. Like I don't like like certain like code names or something. Like I don't get that.
Some of them just don't stick. Like they've got so many that they keep flip-flopping them around, and then it starts to get kind of confusing. Like who is this character? Like to me, Shadowcat is what I know, and her name is Kitty Pryde. That's and I know I guess it's Catherine or whatever, and they just say Kitty. And they say Kitty because of, Shadowcat or whatever. But I think that's fine. Like I don't see that as looking down on the character. Somebody had once told me in one of the comments, they're like, "Oh, you're not calling her Kate or whatever." And I'm like, I'm not. Firstly, you realize that this is a fictional character and not a real person.
That's a good point.
This is not like saying, "Oh, don't," like I'm calling someone a jackass or something or whatever. Like I don't, It's like someone's gonna say, "Oh, instead of J-Man, you're a jerk man." I'm like, okay, well, call me that if you want. I don't care. But,
I'm gonna quote Eddie Murphy in regards to how I look at her.
Mm-hmm.
Her mama named her Kitty. I'm gonna call her Kitty. I don't care what you want to call yourself. Like you can call yourself Shim Shang Shamada. Would listen.
Yeah, this is different than a real life person saying, "Oh, I go by this name."
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, well, you're a real life person, and I will respect your name, and I will say that goes with all of the pronouns and stuff too. It's like if you tell me that's what you prefer, then that's what I'll do. But this is a fictional character. Like, who cares if I pronounce Ghidra correctly or not? Like,
you care about other fans.
Yeah, and P.S. I own every Godzilla movie 4 times over minimum. So it's like, talk to me when you own Ghidra the Three-Headed Monster and you bought it 5 times. VHS, 2 DVDs, a Blu-ray, and then a special Blu-ray on the Gojira the Gojira pack. James, what's going on here? Kitty, a bit old war for name, yeah. Kitty Carlisle.
That's true.
Yeah, so the O was missing on, and I don't have the VHS tape handy. It's actually in a box. I've actually have a box that's just duplicates, and then I actually have a second box which was like VHS duplicates, and I'm like, I just can't house this up here anymore.
You have backups on your backups on your backups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going back to Marauders though.
Yes.
Pyro and Iceman had a really good moment.
They had a good moment.
Fire and Ice. They even addressed like we're not going to call ourselves that because nobody would take us seriously. We're calling ourselves the Two.
The Two, yeah. I wanted Fire and Ice.
All right, I'm with that.
I wanted Fire and Ice, man. I love Fire and Ice. I've got that movie somewhere. I've got the Blu-ray of that. That's a great animated film, Fire and Ice.
Also, the Morlocks. There was one character that kind of not weirded me out, but they had one character who looked dead. Well, that one, yeah, looks dead on Jean Grey. I thought that
was her. I thought that was I knew it wasn't Jean Grey because obviously it can't be Jean Grey, but it was so weird. Do you have it there? Yeah. Okay, there you go. I'll put you full.
Right here, the one in the red.
Yeah. That looks like X Factor. That looks like X Factor Jean.
Right. It really looks like X Factor Jean, but like we find out she does that little thing.
Yeah.
It's like I really wanted there to be a Morlock series because I really want to know more about these characters because they're very neat. Like, but all in all,
so you're making me like it a little bit more because it's basically the Morlocks beating up the Reavers. That's the entire issue.
Also, Matt, the new doctor, how he was pissed off that Callisto called him on his day off and how he was lied to.
I know. And then he's lied to. He's like, oh, you're going to tear down this hospital. And they're like, no, we're not. It's like, damn it, Callisto.
And then when they went to the portal, it's like, oh, wow. Nice one put us into source, kitty.
Yeah, that was great.
This is not cool.
And they should use that because that's basically the townspeople, whatever, the people in Madripoor were like, oh my god, it's like these creatures from the sewers. It was like Chud or something.
You guys are jerks. Just like you guys like kitty, you know what you're doing. You're perpetuating a stereotype, and that's not cool. And she always does this. But
that's Red Queen. That's Red Queen Catherine Pride for you. How do you like that?
She's kind of like Wanda Maximoff. She just does things and gets consequences. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I just can't get into. Just because Marauders pissed me off in issue 2 because issue 1 was my favorite out of all of the X books, and I thought, oh my god, it's going to be on this boat. They're going to go to different lands and fight different new characters that we haven't seen in different countries. And they can deal with, does that country support the mutants or not? Why don't they? And that all just got shelved. And they're like, oh, it's Emma and Shaw. So like the Hellfire stuff could just be its own book. And then that book could just be called the Hellfire Trading Company or Hellfire book or something.
The Hellfire Trading Company.
Right. And then just have all this intrigue and stuff with them trying to like who's going to be on top and they're double crossing and backstabbing. And you could do like a political book, with Emma and Shaw fighting over who's going to be in the charge. And then it's like, no, he's the Black King. No, he's the, and I wish they'd done that. And then Marauders would have been the Marauders on the boat, going country to country, saving the mutants, fight. And that was that first book opened my imagination to the possibilities of what can happen. And then it just went, oh, it's just going to be Emma and Shaw. And I'm like, oh.
I agree with you, Jay, man. I was really getting a Pirates of the Dark Water vibe. Yes, I really want to see this because in the first couple of issues, they were dealing with Russia.
Yeah.
They were dealing with Russia and like they upgrade. They're just like, no Russian mutant is allowed off the island.
Yes,
out of our country. We don't. I wish Marauders was more of the book that we saw more of the push and pull with humanity because they go all over the world. Who's just like? I mean, Russia doesn't like them. America really doesn't like mutants, but they don't want to say anything.
Right. But you could have explored all these different like mentalities, religions, and like saying no, because there's that cult of X that loves the mutants, right? Yeah. Maybe they go to some place where there's a bunch of those guys.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And they're like, oh, we want more mutants, and then I don't know, like it just and then it was just so open.
Yeah, they had a wide berth of where they can do like with the Order of the X, like you were saying.
Yeah,
like what if, I don't know, maybe a story where a certain sect didn't want their mutants to leave, and you find out, oh, they're human. Oh, they're actually dissected. They're trying to be mutant. It's all right, Steve. You don't need to read it. It's good. All right, that's all right. I do.
Steve's doing all the Batman stuff with me. Geek Studios, what is going on? How's it going?
Hey.
Yes.
Geek Studio.
Yes, glad to see you back. Yeah. So I mean, okay. So I mean, look, there's like Professor Bill, from Comic Book University. He's got a great channel. Check him out. We don't need to plug him. He's got like 20,000 subscribers or something. We need to get. It's like don't you know what? Don't go there. No, I'm just
all the support him. No,
So we had a little bit of a thingy at the comic shops. He's like, I really like Marauders. I'm like, I'm not judging. It's almost like I can't judge it fairly because of what I thought was going to happen. Now, this is that whole thing. Well, poor J-Man didn't get what he wanted. And I don't want to be a suck about it because I hate when people are like, well, it didn't end the way, WandaVision didn't end the way I wanted it to end. It's like, okay, well, what are you going to do, right?
You could not watch it.
Right, exactly. Now, but I'm reviewing every X-Men book that comes out. So I'm just giving you my thoughts. I'm not saying it's crap, but I'm just saying that from what it could have been to what it became was disappointing. And overall, it's average anyways.
Yeah. Start out. It's like a grease fire.
We're good. We are good. Okay. All right. So Excalibur. So what did you think? This is all about Malice, pretty much.
Okay. All right.
The pages are flipping.
The beginning.
That's not a good sign.
Right. The beginning looks like a Dawson's Creek episode.
Yeah, I hate you, Mom. I said that. I was thinking, are you trying to make me feel bad for her? Because this is very bad. Like, oh, I'm just a rebel. It's like I'm slamming the door and screw you, Mom. It's like, okay.
Her mom just say, "Hey, you're out a little late. Can you just ease up on that? Because I love you and I work really hard. I want you to do. I want you to be safe." Like it's really so. Malice's first act as a mutant was to kill her mother. Kill and abandon her mother. Just say.
Did she kill her?
No, she died of a broken heart.
Oh, she died of a. I was gonna say she didn't kill her. I was gonna pull out the iPad and be like, wait a minute, I gotta go back to that.
No, I just throw that out there.
Oh, did I miss something? I'm like, I've really missed something on that. I know I was kind of like, this is a bit generic, but I didn't realize that I missed that.
Also,
but Quantum is sick, man.
Quantum is great. I just feel like she's kind of overstayed her welcome in Excalibur now. She needs to go back to Aliens.
Yeah.
But with Malice, though, last time we saw her was in Mike Carey's run of X-Men, and she had taken over the Omega Sentinel. And my whole thing is that what happened with that? Because next we see Omega Sentinel, she's with Orcus, and Malice has been on Krakoa the entire time. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I'm not. They basically abandoned. I started X-Men really heavy right before the Bendis stuff. So and like Ed Brisson was writing one of the books. Matt Rosenberg was writing. Was he writing X-Men Red? The colored ones, the red, the blue.
Yeah.
He was. I loved X-Men Red.
X-Men Red was the best one.
Was the best one.
Gold. It started off, but
it started off real strong.
Yeah.
And it kind of petered out because they switched writers right halfway through or whatever.
Oh yeah, because that Islamic
yes, I had that issue.
Me too.
Nice.
I had man. You know how hard it was to find that issue.
I got it right away, and I didn't know anything because the thing I don't know it, man. I don't know anything. So all of a sudden on Twitter, everyone's like, "Oh, there's this big thing." I'm like, "What issue is that?" I'm like, "Nice, I've got that one." It's like. So yeah, then that just abruptly ended, and they're like, "Okay, Bendis is coming in, and it's all done," and that was it.
Bendis, where he's good, but now he's gone to Claremont levels of egotism. He thinks he believes his own hype.
Yeah. So he's on. He's done Superman now, and then Hickman relaunched all of the. I'm sorry, did I say I meant Bendis went to Superman, and Hickman relaunched all of the Dawn of X stuff, and that basically ignored everything
that happened, like
everything that happened before.
Like I don't know, right before Avengers versus X-Men. Like,
yeah, I liked Avengers versus X-Men a lot. I thought that was cool. You didn't like it?
I did.
Sean didn't like it either.
Okay. The reason why, because I knew they were going to make the X-Men the villains because of the year. It came out in 2012. What came out in 2012? Avengers.
So
there were no way you're going to make the Avengers the bad guys. Too delicate a time.
Yeah, I thought the X-Men were the good guys. I'm the Cyclops was right guy.
He was right.
He was right, and they were to me they were the good guys because it's like, why are you interfering in mutant? I love Captain America. I love Captain America. I collected a lot of comics. He's in my top 10 favorite of the Marvel heroes. Not. So I love Captain America, but I also love Cyclops, and it's like, I mean, if I have to choose overall, I'm with Captain America most of the time. But if I have to choose in this storyline, I'm with Cyclops. It's like Cyclops was right on this one.
I'm the opposite. I'm with Cyclops all the way because I know him. Like I know where Scott Summers is coming from. Captain America. It seems like I'm for America. I'm just like, really.
Okay. Well, he's for. I mean, look, Superman and Captain America. These are the childhood. If you look at my childhood, it's like my favorite characters were the exact people you think it would be: Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Captain America, Spider-Man, Hulk. It's like those three had TV shows and cartoons, right? The Red Brown, they're pretty cheese. The Captain.
Justice League was good.
Justice League.
No, the cartoon. The
cartoon is great. Yeah, I've got that, of course.
Still better than anything we have going in the TCU.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They've really like messed up that entire thing. Because the thing is, it's like 40 years from now, people are still going to be talking about Super Friends, Justice League, and all those kind of cartoons. Those classic cartoons, and this will just be that phase where it was weird. It's just going to be like those 90s. There's like those. It's like there's those 90s movies where there's like the 90s Captain America. Yeah. And there's which I thought was fine. I have it on Blu-ray. I mean, whatever. It's a bit lame. But what else came out? Like it's just like that time where it was. I'm looking at my at my superhero stuff. It's like that weird time where it was like Batman was the only good thing that was around.
Yeah.
And then everything else was just kind of like, Even though I personally like,
remember Steel?
Yeah, I like everything because I'm a nerd. But Steel's a bit brutal. But I mean, there's a part in Steel. Let me tell you a good part in Steel, where he saves those people, and then they capture him, and it's so obvious because Shaquille O'Neal is like 8 feet tall. So it's like we obviously know who he is. It's like, but they put him in a lineup. They put him in a police lineup, and they have the two people that he saved, and the couple are like. They go to the lineup and they're like, the person who helped us is a good man and he's not there and we don't see him in that lineup. And I thought, because they recognized him immediately. They saw him and there's like a mark on his chin and they immediately recognized him and they're like, he's not up there. And I was like, nice. I like that kind of stuff because it's like, I like when the people like the hero, like when people cheer for Spider-Man and shit like that.
Oh, no, actually, another funny part. This had something to do with Shaquille O'Neal, his professional as a basketball player.
Yeah,
it was like near the end where they had to like, I need to make a free throw. And his little brother's like, I never make these, which is true. It's still.
Shaq was brutal from the line, man. He couldn't hit a free throw to save his life.
He's a basketball guy.
That was the whole defense thing. Like near the end of the game, they called it Hack-a-Shaq because they would foul him. Because they knew he couldn't take shots, and then they would get the ball back. Like that was the whole strategy in the NBA.
My God.
They call it Hack-a-Shaq.
Shaq is funny. Like Shaq can make fun of himself like that.
Just Jeff Bankett's reading Jonathan Hickman recent X-Men. Yeah. Oh, for sure. Would you say that most of it? I think most of it's pretty good.
Yeah, a lot of it's good. Cheerleading Adam's still on the fence about because I'm calling them the wannabes. Like they
Sorry, which Children of the Atom? Oh yeah, no, I'm
and like really, it's this close to blackface, the mutant blackface.
Yeah,
no, I mean, no, I'm not. All right, not saying it's not that bad, but
of course, I think we know that.
Yeah.
My subscribers are smart enough to know when we're having some fun with yeah. But if I had come out with that comic, they would have sued me. They'd be like, "You ripped off all of our characters. What the shit?" And it's like, you ripped off your own characters. Yo, it's these people are getting paid, right? Like, you're getting paid to do this. Let's get some creativity going on here.
seriously,
What the hell happened? And I'm not, the alter egos aside, it's like they could have done something more, with those characters. Steel, yeah, there's a debate.
I'm going with Zam.
I'm going with Steel on that one. Are you crazy? No way.
I'm going with better actors. Mark Strong as a villain
Mark Strong's
cool. Circles around everybody in Steel, and Steel had Diane Lane. No, Diane Keaton. No,
Diane Keaton.
Diane Keaton.
I like Diane
Keaton. I love Diane. She's great. I love her in Unfaithful.
The Truth. What's going on? Remember
hey, Truth.
What's up, bro?
This is where we had we broke the internet with like live streaming a live. I always want to do live streaming a live stream. I'm so happy we got the chance to do that because like I wanted to see what would happen with that. And
cancel each other out.
Well, the problem ends up being is that everyone forgot the Ghostbusters advice. Don't cross the streams.
Excuse me, Egon. You said crossing the streams was bad.
All right. Thank you for reminding me that we're going to get a new Ghostbusters movie this year.
Yes.
And I just found out here by my house is reopening tomorrow. So I'm really,
dude, they were filming. Oh, Steve, they were filming the Chucky TV series at the library here.
Oh,
it's like 5-minute walk from me, and I was like, "Crap! I want to go be." I had the life-size Chucky. I should have brought my Chucky over there.
That's awesome.
And like I was just thinking, oh my god, because there's a Twitter account that tells you where everything's filming. So I was like, oh my god,
nice.
But Ghostbusters, man, I did not see that horrendously awful garbage Ghostbusters movie, and they kept trying to say, oh, it's because men don't like women characters.
Oh, I was like, whoa. We love women, okay? We came from women.
Yeah. Like basically, well, look, I've got a Wonder Woman shelf behind me. I got a Supergirl shelf right next to her. Right. It's like I love female heroes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and
they're great.
The thing with Ghostbusters, nobody really understands the Ghostbusters. Pandering. Yeah, it's pandering. It's Brendan. What's going on? It's my godbrother. How's it going?
Hey, bro.
The new trailer for
the Stay Puft. Yeah, I know. I didn't see that. There was like a teaser that just dropped. I did not see it because I was doing basically after my day job today. I had to catch up on Invincible. And then which we'll talk. We're going to hit all that up on Sunday when we got the full panel.
Yeah.
But the thing with that Ghostbusters, the Ghostbusters original movie, people forget this or don't think about it. It's those guys who are trying to start a business, and they suck. Venkman is a bad scientist, right? Yeah. Egon is so socially awkward that he literally can't have a conversation with any female, right?
No.
These are all sort of losery guys. They're losers who come together to try to build this business or whatever. And it's like the only trick they have is that they can catch ghosts. And then it wasn't a macho thing. Like they're like, well, we need to have, women do it. Yeah, but are you going to make the women losers and dummies? And Ray took out a third mortgage on his house and all that. It's like, no, you're not going to do that, are you? And it's like, well, this is not Ghostbusters. Like, what are you talking about? They just thought, oh, 4 men, let's have 4 women. It's not the same thing.
Yeah. Like Winston didn't come in until like halfway through the movie.
Right. And they needed it. And Winston was the guy who's like, look, if there's a steady paycheck, then I'm in. I'm in, right? Because he doesn't care. Well, and that was the point of that. And they're going up the stairs, and they're the best is where they're like, all right, they want to play rough. Let's play rough. And they're like, yeah. And they get all jacked up, and then they go up on the stairs, and it's like they cut, and they're like,
man.
I'm on the 22nd floor. I've had to walk it before. Ooh. And they're like, oh, we can't go up the stairs. And it's like, because they've got guts. They're losers. And I don't understand what that new movie was trying to do. And it's like, it wasn't the characters.
No.
You know, it's like you
Yeah.
could have had Venkman, you know, has the son from part 2. He adopts the kid.
Yeah.
And that guy's a screw up, and then he gives him to Ray and says, "Hey, Ray, teach my adoptive son some, you know, get him as a Ghostbuster, teach him something."
Or at least, or remember, it also remember in the first one, Pete Venkman, he was very problematic. He was just hitting on college students.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm right. That's why he's a bad scientist. He goes,
was terrible.
You are a poor scientist.
He was a hustler, though. He knew how to hustle people, and which is yeah. But
that whole thing was missed.
No,
like they tried to redo this movie for, I don't know for what audience, because it's not like this movie was black and white. Like when they remade Scarface with Pacino.
Yeah.
Like the last Scarface was a black and white movie, and it was a completely different mindset.
Yeah.
They transformed this into, this guy becomes this drug lord or whatever.
Yeah.
The old Scarface was, I don't remember the old Scarface. Was it about prohibition or was it about guns? It may have been about guns even. Steve, have you seen the old Scarface?
That's the one, Paul Muni. I haven't seen it.
Okay,
but I believe Scarface was actually mirrored on Capone, because Capone's nickname was Scarface. Yep. So it was probably a prohibition thing.
It's prohibition.
Right.
And that's it. And so I've seen all the Cagney films. James Cagney's my favorite actor of all time, who's well, now passed away, obviously. But so yeah, I've seen all the Cagney films, right? So it's like, it's in that time. So they updated it, and they're like, well, and they took a different approach, saying, look, this is a foreigner who comes in and he's like, I can't get any other jobs. I'm going to start, you know, slowly, and it's like a slow burn into him becoming this crazy drug lord guy, and then he just loses himself at the end, and then he just goes crazy.
Well, that was 80s, right? And
and that would have been cocaine and all that.
Yeah, but it was also the American dream, right?
American dream.
It was very much like the commercialism, the American dream. You know, coming with nothing to, you know, America and making it big, but it was twisting it, right?
Right. That was genius.
It was a brilliant movie.
Very excited. Yeah, let's. I'm optimistic too. 26 the same universe and the events. Yeah, well, it may be, but
I know, but it wasn't. But the reason why that 2016 one didn't work, it wasn't because of the actors. They're all good at. Well, 3 of them were an
yeah. There's which one don't you like? I'll see if you don't like the one I don't like.
I didn't see it, so
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either, but there's one of the 4 who immediately I was like, no.
I mean, I like Melissa McCarthy. I think Kristen Wiig is great. When she's the main.
It's Kristen Wiig I don't like, and I'll tell you why. Kristen Wiig, this is her thing. Kristen Wiig a comedic scene will happen, and she'll sit there and she'll be like, she'll tell you why it's funny. She'll be like, oh, you're doing this. That's completely out of crazy, because this should be happening over here. And I'm like, why are you describing the comedic moment to me? And she does that all the time. I saw Bridesmaids. I own Bridesmaids.
Me too.
I actually own Bridesmaids.
You guys both have to leave the stream now. See ya.
I know.
Okay, I didn't say I was okay with it. It's just happened like that.
I didn't see it. Okay, good. Sorry, right? Steve. Continue.
No. And like, she's the lead character. I could not stand her in it. I actually like all the supporting characters. Like they had the lady, the mother from Goldberg's on there. She was really good.
Oh, she's funny.
Yeah, she's McCarthy. I like the Australian girl. I forget her name. I like Maya Rudolph. I like everyone else. I like the Irish police officer.
Oh, Rose Byrne you're talking about. She's Scottish. Rose Byrne?
No.
The Australian.
Oh, yeah, Rose Byrne. Yes, sorry, yeah.
He's gotten funnier late. Like, have you guys noticed, like, with Hollywood, like, with actresses, they're the hot one until, like, they get to a certain age, and then they have to change. They have to get funny.
Absolutely.
Or here for like 10 years and then come back as a mom.
Yes.
You're funny or you're a mom.
Yes.
Or a drug addict. Whatever.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. But I like everyone else. I just did not like her. And she happened to be the lead character. And it's because it's the same thing. She'll sit there and say, like, oh, you're doing this, you should be doing this. Like, she just describes the humor to you, and it's so annoying. So
like,
I'm over. Yeah,
That's
I'm
The
over
whole
her.
movie is that though. They don't know how to do the comedic timing in the
Yeah.
26. If you watch Red Letter Media, I don't know if you guys watch any of those guys. They're pretty funny. They did a Ghostbusters review and they kind of tore it to shreds, but also they explained very precisely why it's not very funny, because it's like everything. It's like they actually re-edited scenes to show you what it would look like the way they would do it, and it actually is a lot funnier because the idea is like, well, these are all funny ladies, let them go at it. But the thing is that comedy is very difficult. It needs to be very controlled and very precise. Like the Marx Brothers, who are my favorite.
Yeah.
The Marx Brothers are precision. And the reason why the movies are all funny is because they tested every gag on stage.
Audience, yeah.
Yeah, right? And it's like everything is so precise. James, Scarface is a great example of reimagining. Yes.
Yeah.
Carpenter's The Thing.
The Thing, exactly. Well, The Thing, again, based more so on the source material, where the thing can transform into other things. That's why it is a thing, versus the Howard Hawks, where they're like, well, it's just going to be a monster. And John Carpenter had a lot of respect for Howard Hawks, and that's like one of his big heroes.
Yeah.
So when someone comes out and says, like, because I didn't see The Thing when it had come out. I don't even know when. I would have saw it when it first got released. You know how much it cost? You know how much I had to pay to get The Thing special edition on DVD? Let's do it. Let's do a test here. Steve, don't say anything just in case, because you might. Greymalkin.
Yeah.
DVD. This is a DVD of John Carpenter's The Thing special edition. How much do you think that DVD cost? This is when DVDs were brand new.
I'm gonna go upwards of like 25.
Okay, so 20. No, higher.
Oh,
so in American, it probably would have been something like 35 or 40 American. So I paid like $50 Canadian.
Yeah, I did too.
Just for one movie.
Yeah, this when DVDs were first out, they weren't as prevalent.
Like early 2000s, or like early 90s.
My DVD player was $500. I got a floor model from. So my mom used to do a lot of trade shows. She worked for. I don't know if you guys have Canadian Tire. I guess not. We have I don't know what the equivalent would be in the States. Steve, what's the equivalent of Canadian Tire?
Home Depot.
Oh.
Do you guys have Home Depot?
Yeah. Home Depot.
Okay, so it's like that kind of a thing.
Okay.
And she would do those shows, and then there was like a technology section. They had DVD players, and my mom's like, "Oh, DVD, this is what you wanted, right?" I said, "Yeah." She's like, the guy will give me the floor display model for $500. I said, take it, and I literally bought it for $500. And check this out. The first DVD I got was Mad Max, and I don't know if you guys know this, but the first Mad Max movie was dubbed.
Yes.
Because they felt that they couldn't understand the accents of Mel Gibson and the cast, so they dubbed Mad Max. Now, the first release here was really The Road Warrior, which is actually called Mad Max 2. It's just simply Mad Max 2, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Mad Max Fury Road. That's your 4. They renamed it The Road Warrior because nobody really cared about Mad Max 1. So I paid a non-anamorphic, dubbed, no features Mad Max for $46.
Oh, yes.
And it was like
the museum.
I know. And now you can buy all 4 movies on Blu-ray and 4K remastered in one set for like $20.
Yeah.
So the lesson is, if you see something you like, write it down and get it later, because it will be cheap.
It's like 10 years later. It's like, I can't wait 10 years. I got to watch my Mad Max. Mad Max is in my top 10. That's like my top 10 movies. I had a DVD player right away.
You had it, yeah.
Right
I actually got my first DVD from you.
What was it?
Usual Suspects.
That was a great movie.
That's a great movie. Steve loves that one.
Can you actually watch that movie now because of Kevin Spacey? Like, it's after what happened, after he killed that one guy.
So here's the thing.
Allegedly.
I took the acid test for that. You know who the acid test was? O.J. Simpson. He was in the Naked Gun movies.
Oh, he's great in those.
And you're like, listen, if I'm good with that, like, and he's supposedly allegedly killed 2 people, and I'm good, allegedly, I can.
We always say allegedly.
Because the problem is, and this is, just as a very slight segue, this is my problem with the quest for virtuous Hollywood.
Yeah.
There's never been a virtuous Hollywood.
Ever.
Sorry, guys. I've been a movie extra. I've been a legit movie extra in university. I've seen how these guys operate. They are not nice people. Sorry to break that bubble for you. If you're never going to watch another movie or TV show because of that, I apologize. But I'm letting you know.
Yeah, they're all
they are not good people. So trying to make a virtuous Hollywood is not going to work. Sorry.
Okay. Here's the thing. Also, to add on that, I'm glad you said that. Most of the time, they knew about this. I mean, the whole Harvey Weinstein thing.
Yes,
they knew. Everybody knew everything.
Everybody knew.
Everybody knew.
No, and like also all those actresses, like, oh, I went to his apartment. Like, okay, my mother told me something. Told me and my sister, if you're gonna be dealing with somebody, know who you're dealing with. Know have a good idea of who you're dealing with, and like if it. It's hard to feel bad for millionaires.
Yeah,
I know.
Yes,
and the thing is, it's like, look, everybody knew what was going on, and it's like, and they didn't care at that point, right? And then at some point, someone was brave enough to say, "Look, enough's enough," and then everyone jumps on that, and be like, "Yeah." It's like, guys, like, this is not news here.
I blame the 2016 election because no, hear me out.
Yeah.
When all that stuff was going on about grabbing women by the
the front.
Yeah. Cat. But and then when that story it just caught traction.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, I'm afraid to even say hello to a woman because I'm afraid I'm going to say I'm going to get.
Oh yeah.
Talk to anybody. I know. I'm deathly afraid all the time. I'm like, why am I afraid? When I was younger, like we were cool with everybody.
Everyone,
And the other thing too is my personality is that I tend to make fun of people a lot. And if I'm making fun of you, that means we're cool. Because if I'm not making fun of you, that means I'm being nervous around you.
Yeah.
And if I'm nervous around, that, and man, like, and I want an escape room, and customers come in, and I'm making fun of the customers and stuff, right? and they're like, oh, we didn't do that good. I'm like, it was pretty bad, yeah. And I'm just joking with them, right?
You gotta joke with people, like,
yeah. But I'm scared. I'm scared to joke with people because it's like you're like, oh shit, so this person just took this the wrong way, and now I'm fired. And you're like, dude, like I didn't,
But Steven, what you said about the virtuous Hollywood is killing comedy.
Oh, yes. Big time.
Big time.
Okay, we can. What was the last really good comedy that came out? Maybe
Chris Rock about like
Spiral. No, it hasn't even come out yet.
No.
Comedy?
I was like, no, Chris. What was the one he did? One where he said Bush doesn't give. He has a pocket full of fucks, and he's like, he doesn't.
Top 5.
So what year was that?
That was like 2015, but like that was like an indie movie for him, or I don't know.
Yeah, like that was like the last time I remember thinking, wow, this is super funny. What's the Indian guy's name? Steve, Canadian guy, our boy Peters. Russell Peters. He's had some pretty good fun, but he's Indian, and he makes fun of Indians and Asians and stuff, and he does the accents. He'll do like the Chinese accent. He'll do the Indian accent. And it's funny too because my wife is Indian, and she's like, "Oh my god, he's right. He does that." Like Indians do that.
Yeah. No, it's funny because like we're all right. When all that Me Too stuff happened, I was really into it. I was like, I was just like
following it all.
And my wife told me, it's like, why are you doing this? I say, because I want to, I'm a feminist. I want to do this. And she just looked at me and said, feminism is for lesbians. And I'm like, I don't know how to
tell. And a true feminist would have just bowed to your wife and be like, "You're correct, honey."
Yeah.
And move on.
So it's funny you mention that because Sean's not on this, but I had a conversation with Sean, What is
we get you get it.
Andrew. Hey, Andrew. He's the one. He was the catalyst for the crossing of the streams.
Yeah, he fled to this stream, and then we sort of outed him to the Truth Stream, and then Truth Stream. Yeah, it got really anyhow. So I was talking to Sean, and this is when Eliza Dushku came out with basically saying she was assaulted on True Lies. And
True Lies?
True Lies.
True Lies. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And she was and Sean, yeah, and Sean was like, how did this happen? Don't they have an HR thing? I'm like, no, like actors are independent contractors, right? Like they're not really employees. They're employees of the production, but the production company is created for the movie, right? Like to limit the liability to the producers in the studio.
Right.
So they actually create a production company just for that movie to limit the liability.
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, that's True Lies. And what I also explained to him is, like, if you've not been on a movie suit, because James Cameron came on, he's like, if I had known, and Sean said, well, how did he know? I'm like, listen, this is how Hollywood works. True Lies, James Cameron, if you're not Arnold Schwarzenegger or Jamie Lee Curtis, you're
exactly.
You don't matter.
Yeah.
So when you're on a movie set, these few people over here matter, and all the other people don't.
Yeah, it's a favoritism. Like you got your stars, the people you have your stars, and you just like everybody else, you're auxiliary. You're propping them up.
Yeah.
Plus, there's so many different units. Like James Cameron, I don't know how much of an auteur he was on True Lies, let's say, for example, but who knows, like, how many scenes he's shooting, right? Like, I know Robert Rodriguez believes in he's the shot, chopped, whatever. Whatever. Basically editor, writer, director, whatever.
Yeah.
But like a lot of these productions, it's like, unless you're dealing with the cast, the main cast, you're probably not even there.
Yeah.
Like James, like, I think people think that, the director of the movie, he literally sat there and called every shot and did everything. No way.
He stuff and then he leaves.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's why it's so funny when you see these like action movies. You're like, well, the best part was the action. Yeah, he ain't there. Like,
yeah, that's the choreographer. That's the choreographer doing that.
Unless it's John Woo or someone who's like one of these auteur directors who's like, no,
really
hands-on, and I need to show you what to do or whatever. Or if it's like a Van Damme who's choreographing the fight sequences or something.
Yeah.
It's like these guys aren't even there. What the hell? They don't know they don't care what's going on. Eliza Dushku was a super zero nobody in that movie.
Yeah.
Also, sorry.
Go ahead, Greg.
Okay.
Go ahead, Greg.
No, go ahead.
With all this going on, I just want to know what's going on at Marvel and what are we not seeing? Because I want to know. Okay, I was a big Entourage fan. A lot of people didn't like it because they said it's a fantasy, but they forget that Sex and the City was the same thing, whatever. But what Entourage really did for me, they kind of showed you the behind the scenes a little bit. They showed like this is what happens during movies. A lot, like an actor will want to do a movie, but the head of the studio doesn't like them. It's always down to ego. And yes. It's just like, you gotta see those little bits of truth.
Mm-hmm.
Marvel, Warner Brothers is a mess. Marvel, Disney is a disaster. I don't know. We can have a vote. Like who's worse? Like Disney. I think Disney versus Warner Brothers, but like Disney's a disastrous shit show mess.
I think Disney is taking a bigger PR hit because they're taking on a more rabid fan base.
Oh, that's true. Good point.
I honestly feel that way because Star Wars is like, so Warner Brothers, like the Snyder Universe has a lot of fans who are very loyal and passionate about it. But Star Wars fans have been around for 43 years.
Yeah, you're right.
Right? right?
Yeah.
Like they've grown up living this stuff. I just watched some of the 501st Legion, the documentary you get with the Blu-rays.
They're great.
Those guys live Star Wars. They
Right.
live it, right?
Right.
Like, and you're now taking them on. That is insane.
And they're international.
Yes.
Right? Like, like there's so many Star Wars, and they keep talking about, I don't want to turn this into like something that's
no. We're just talking.
So Star Wars is diversity.
Yeah.
Like there are so many people that can, like, diversity is achieved by telling a story where it makes sense in any language in any country you watch it. Right. Because everyone can understand that Darth Vader is the villain and Luke Skywalker is the good guy and he has to fight his father and they feel bad for him and they cheer for him.
Right.
That is period, end of sentence. And that creates diversity, because then you have people who are in Japan or in Korea or in India and they love Star Wars. And I don't know anything about their culture and they don't know anything about my culture, but we can agree that Star Wars is great. And that's how you meet people. When I was a kid, Star Wars was how you met people, right? I met Mark and Al. I have a very, very, very diverse friend base. It's really crazy if you start to actually label each person I know. But it was Star Wars. It's Star Wars, Superman, Batman, X-Men. It's like this brought people together. And I never, I looked up to Lando. I loved Lando, and maybe because
Lando's not a villain in that movie.
He's not. No.
Really, he was doing the right thing for his people. He didn't owe anything.
Yeah. And Lando, I agree with you. All
right. All right. One real quick.
Go ahead.
Han Solo was a bad smuggler. He was a smuggler. Jabba was not the villain. He just wanted his money back. I totally get that.
He's gonna eat Princess Leia though.
No, whatever. Doesn't matter. You could have paid him back.
Yeah.
And every time he said, "Hey, Jabba, I was just going to see you," he was like, "Don't cut it out, man."
Yeah.
Cut it out. No, yeah. So the thing is, it's like, see, I never looked up to characters based on whether they looked like me. I was an overweight kid I've been wearing glasses since grade 2. Right. I was a chubby, nerdy kid who liked comic books, superheroes, He-Man, and all that. I never saw myself represented in anybody. I went by their actions, I'm like, well, the first one I saw in the theater was Return of the Jedi, and that was the first Star Wars movie I'd ever seen, was Return of the Jedi.
Nice.
So Lando blew up the Death Star, right? So to me, Lando's the hero, because I'm like, Han Solo, I'm like, he does nothing. He's on that. I know he deactivates the shield, but to me, it was Luke and Lando. Lando seemed to be the heroes of that movie in my eyes as a kid. And I thought, Lando has a cape, and I'm like, this is so cool. Like, this guy is so cool. And the thing is, I never saw myself in that way before. And I have friends who are gay and they love Luke Skywalker and they didn't see themselves as someone else. And I never understood this. Like, to me, the diversity was in the story. Does the story make sense for anyone? Can anybody watch Star Wars and get something out of it?
Exactly. I feel the same way with X-Men. Like, there was nobody who looked like me. Well,
right.
No, not even Bishop, because he had he was like 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
He looked like Eazy-E. It was weird.
He was awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, like you said, it was the actions. I look at Cyclops because he was a guy who was doing the right thing, and then over time he started to see it's like this isn't working. We need to change tactics. But
and I'm totally cool with like adding diverse characters in terms of race and gender, because it makes it more flavorable, right? It's like, this is more interesting now. Not every, but we can't go back in time.
No.
Like, are we going to seriously go back in time? And like, how far do we push this? Do we go back in time and say, well, Godzilla 1954, there was no like Filipino representation?
But like, what?
Like, what are you talking about? Like, it's like anytime they try to have a white guy in a Godzilla movie, it's brutal because his English is terrible, and it's like, and they either dub him over badly or whatever. And I'm like, no. I said, trust me, I don't need representation. Don't put a white guy in this. Just let it be Japanese people.
Yeah, we don't need Raymond Burr.
Right.
Well, Raymond Burr's that was in order to make it appeal to American audiences, and so they could, explain what was going on without using too much dubbing. Plus, they downplayed the nuclear, the nuclear weapons aspect of the bomb getting dropped or whatever, or the two bombs getting dropped. But anyways, so did we finish talking about Excalibur?
I know we did that.
we went from Ghostbusters. Andrew loves Stallone and Arnold. Well, of course, yeah. Arnold, I own every Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, and I have quite a lot of Stallone movies, not all of them. I don't have Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
So Andrew must have loved Escape Plan.
Wow. Yeah, that was a great movie. I liked it too.
You know what? I was a Van Damme guy as a kid. Van Damme. Okay, Double Impact was my favorite movie. Like, I was the only 6-year-old who watched that, who actually understood it. Granted, I thought that sex was just a woman taking off her top. I'm like, oh, damn it!
Listen, take your fancy clothes and your black silk underwear and go back to Disneyland.
And the funny thing is, he didn't Alex didn't really get on his girl for it was an honest mistake.
I know. I have the Double Impact poster, the full one sheet proper poster. Yeah, Van Damme's my favorite. I have everything. Were you here last stream when we talked about Van Damme? Were you here, Greymalkin, for that?
I was here at the near the end.
Oh, dude, we're gonna go for a walk. I own every Van Damme movie. I'm going to show it to you.
So
that entire shelf is Van Damme only.
That's the Van Damme shelf.
From here to here, that is just Van Damme only. He has that many movies.
Hey, I believe it. All right. He had he works. He had a movie with Dennis Rodman at one point.
Yeah, that was. I saw that in the theater.
Better actor.
I saw that movie in the theater. That was the last one that came out in the theater before Van Damme became a straight to video kind of player.
And then Expendables.
Yeah, Expendables 2. Yeah, and he was the best in that. He was great.
All right, okay. These actors are really good as villains. Why do we have to wait so long for us to see them just go all out? I mean, Robert Redford and Winter Soldier, great villain.
He's great.
He didn't have to do anything.
That's true. I think the thing is though is that these guys are great rocks in your life. If you have a bad day, there's nothing like throwing in Evil Dead and watching Bruce Campbell, have a really bad day and how he gets through, right? Or Army of Darkness. These guys have these actors have guys in the military come back from a bad day and they're they throw it in and they feel better. That's the power of these guys, these film guys. So you don't want to see Van Damme as a villain. You want to see Van Damme as a hero beating up the villain and taking him out. That's the thing. And Redford was the blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy, the classic hero, Butch and Sundance, stuff like that.
He was, for a while, I thought he was Brad Pitt's dad.
Didn't he play?
Yes.
I thought I saw something where he either played or he had an interview with Brad Pitt, and Brad Pitt said, "Everyone thinks you're my dad." I swear that happened.
Yeah, because they did a movie together, Spy Hard, back in '99, and I thought,
yeah.
If I didn't know about
it's pretty suspicious.
I mean, Robert Redford. Hey, we all talk about how Hollywood was. Imagine it was back in the '70s. People were doing stuff.
Oh yeah, doing big time.
Just want to remind everybody to blast the like button if you're just joining us. It helps me out, and subscribe as well. I had YouTube is weird sometimes. It's I get a bunch of subscribers, then I lose them all, and I'm something's weird with the algorithms, I heard sometimes. So always make sure you are subscribed. And I've been unsubscribed from channels too. It's weird. I don't know if it's just I don't know. And I'm not subscribed to anything weird.
Well, that's
So I
weird.
do get a lot of weird
Yeah.
comments. Do you get any weird comments, Greymalkin? Like where it's like it's like a bot?
I get a couple of like posts for like pornography or something.
Yeah, I get that all the time.
I just kind of that's the cost of doing business.
Yeah, I know. I'm being like, that's why I stopped using like Instagram. My Instagram is filled with just random because people would just follow me, and then I would follow everyone back because I wanted to get I wanted to get like a
Yeah, you want to get a following.
yeah, I want to get a big following. So everyone who follows me, I just automatically follow back. And then I realized that half these were all these like fake porn accounts or whatever.
Yeah.
So, and I ended up having like 400 I was following like 400 people. I'm like, oh my God. And what they would do is they would follow me, I would follow back, and then they would unfollow me. You know what I mean? Right? It's like one of those.
That's
yeah. So I've tried to go through and delete what I can from. That's why Instagram is not a great place for me to like connect with people because I don't feel like creating a new account because it's all my J-Man stuff is through there. So I'm like,
yeah.
Steve, did you read? I know I said I wasn't going to get Suicide Squad 2, but I got it and I liked Suicide Squad, so I'm gonna stick with this book. And did you get Batman?
I read both. Yeah,
you read both.
I read both.
What are your thoughts? Well, what are your thoughts on Batman? Let's start with that.
I really liked it. You know, this unsanity thing is really cool. I really like the idea of the unsanity like league or whatever they're calling themselves and that master ways and all that. I like the fact that it's like we're not sane and we're not insane. We're sort of like that in between.
Right.
So regular.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, like we're not with the cops, we're not with the villains. You know, we're with the city sort of thing. I sort of take it like that.
Yeah.
The opening panel when he's in the chair, and Scarecrow's over him. Look at that! Like Batman looks absolutely terrified. If you can get in, yeah.
I see it.
Look, like his eyes are like forced open in that. Like that's just like
it's like Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, it's just really bizarre. You don't want to ever see Batman in that position.
It's weird to see him in that position.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what's interesting? I'm going to go solo again. They're showing, so they're actually placing scarecrows around, and there's not even the fear gas is not even part of it.
Yeah,
it's literally just a scarecrow, but there's been so much fear caused that even just a scarecrow, just the thought of it, or even just the visual appearance of a scarecrow, even if it's a normal one, people are like freaking out.
It was great, man. I liked it. But you know what I really liked was the backup story.
Ghost. The Ghost Maker. He's a cool little character.
But like, there's that whole like island of his nemesis, and he's going to like and like invade it. Like it was like Bond.
He looks a little bit like Spawn.
Yeah.
Do you know Ghost? Have you seen Ghost Maker before? Because I don't know who he is.
No, I haven't. No. He seems like a new character.
Yeah, I don't know what his first appearance was, but he's a neat character. He's very cool looking.
Yeah, I really like him. I really like him a lot. What do you think?
Stab?
I liked it.
Oh.
Check out Harley Quinn.
Oh yeah, I'm reading that right now. They calls me Stabbo.
Stabbo, yeah.
You know,
you're not too good at doing things, are you? Shut up. Shut up, Harley Quinn.
Harley Quinn, I'm still very ambivalent about. I'm not sure how I feel because she's not a hero. Like, she's done too many things that I'm like,
She's not a hero at all to me, I know. Yeah. Sean, what's going on, brother?
What's up, man?
Hey.
What's up, everyone?
Hey.
We were just talking about Batman.
This lady.
Oh, cool.
So she's cool. I don't know who she is.
She looks good. Like
she's good. Yeah, she's cool.
I will say that this Batman is introducing a lot of new like what I like about Batman is it continues to add new characters. It's not one of those ones that's stagnated.
Yeah.
You know.
So this is the new creative team, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Jorge Jimenez, right?
James.
Yeah. Jorge.
James,
James Tinian.
Tinian the fourth.
Like
I really like what he's doing with stuff.
Like if you have a Roman
numeral would be better though. Yeah, I know, eh? Like that man's very proud of being
pompous, but anyway.
But he's done some really interesting stuff. I do like where they're going because, again, I like moderately rich Batman. Alfred's now just dead. He's taking it in a new direction without it being cloying or without it being like, oh God, like what Mark Miller likes to do, where he's like, I just want to screw everything up and make them a jerk. Like, I like they're not doing that.
So is Ghostmaker? I was gonna say Gray Ghost. Is Ghostmaker blind?
Or he's trying something out.
Yeah, like, I wasn't sure about that. I assumed what he was doing was he didn't want to see the person because if he saw them, he'd have to kill them, sort of thing, because of what they've done together. Because it insinuates that they had a whole thing, right?
Yeah, they had a threesome or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get that, but that's interesting. He looks a little bit like Spawn with like.
He does. It's a good. I really like where they're going with the Batman right now.
It looks cool.
It is really cool. All right, so
yeah,
Suicide Squad, which I said I wasn't going to get anymore, but now after reading this, I am going to get. So obviously, I liked it. I think Peacemaker is awesome. I love Peacemaker.
He's a killer, right? Like he kills people.
Sure.
With the toilet bowl on his head. No.
Yeah.
Right. I will say there was one thing about this comic I did not care for, and it sort of underlined what I thought. Superboy should not be on the Suicide Squad.
Really?
Well, I mean,
no. Yeah.
No, I know, but I mean, obviously something's going on with that, right?
No,
like,
yeah, and like they sort of insinuate she's going after a speedster in the next one,
which is the new Flash that was from
Future
State.
Oh, okay,
I like the art in this, and I just
see if Superboy's on the Suicide Squad, wouldn't Superman be like, oh, okay, all right, you're not doing this to him, okay? No, you're not. No, that's my kid. You're not putting him on your depth squad. I mean,
yeah, it's more complicated than that. I don't think it's just like it's like he's just kind of like stuck, sort of like.
Yeah,
this is a great.
Yeah, that's great.
That's really cool.
Toilet bowl.
Boom.
Like Peacemaker knocks him out. It's just that.
Yeah, go ahead, Steve. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's just that the Suicide Squad shouldn't really have any really good people on it. Like, this is what's going to happen. They're just going to fight with the other guys because they're going to want to save people, and that's not what the Suicide Squad's about. And Peacemaker's definitely not going to be like that. Like, Peacemaker seems to be a lot more into the idea of the Suicide Squad, which is weird to me because before that, it's reluctance, right? Like the bombs are in the head for a reason.
Yeah,
I don't want to be on this team.
You're always gonna get that weirdo, though. You're always gonna get that weirdo who likes it. Like, hey, this is actually a really good gig. I'm not gonna put this up.
Does Peacemaker have the bomb in his head? Question 1. I don't know if they had said that yet. I don't remember if they said that. But question 2, though, or statement, is that he sees eye to eye with Waller.
Yeah,
he's like saying, okay, the mission is to get peace and I'll do that at any cost. And if I have to kill some people along the way, well, it's for the greater good. And Superboy is more like we should save everybody. And look, Suicide Squad has been the same sort of format forever.
Right.
I don't think Superboy is on the Suicide Squad. I think he's like they want him to be on there, and he's kind of reluctantly trying to do the right thing. I like when the two of them are on each other. It's like, well, that's not what the mission is. Well, I'm going to save people. It's making it more interesting to me than just random villains doing random missions. Like, it's bringing some drama to it that I never saw before in Suicide, in my opinion. Because, like, to me, it was always like, well, it's a bunch of villains are going to go do missions, and I don't care about any of these characters, so whatever. But now that it's Superboy and Peacemaker kind of fighting it out
with Talon
has just been brought in. That's going to be crazy.
The one thing I like about
hold on. Sean's girl was in it. Nocturna.
Yeah,
Nocturna, yeah. What
Yeah,
version? It's vampire or something? Or?
Yeah, vampire. That's Sean's.
Oh.
Yeah, I see.
Nocturna is my favorite Batman villain.
yeah. There you go.
There she is.
That's wicked.
Yeah. So I thought of Sean. I thought, oh shit,
cool.
Nocturna.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Sean's in.
Especially they're diving back into their roster like of yesteryear and
they
bringing
are.
out guys.
I'm liking this.
Oh
yeah.
So this is turning. So I will say this. So far, this is turning into the actual Suicide Squad. Characters are dying every issue. It's not like they're the Suicide Squad and then one dies in an arc, right? And then comes back in the next arc. Guys are dying and they're staying dead. They're cycling through a lot of roster. I think they've already lost like 6 characters in 2 issues.
Well, that kind of goes with the Suicide Squad. I mean, they should probably have like one big villain and the rest of them are really low level.
That's what's happening. Yeah,
that's
it's pretty much Peacemaker.
Yeah.
I guess because is that show actually dude, is that actually happening? Is John Cena gonna have a show with Peacemaker? I mean, Peacemaker to me is like the best guy now. I'm just and John Cena being Peacemaker is so funny.
Well, he's a funny guy. You know, it's like I mean, and also James Gunn. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like everyone thought he was gonna die in this movie, and then they announced the show, and it's like, oh, I guess he won't, or it's a prequel, or I don't know.
Actually getting a show?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's
is that
announced? Yeah.
What if it's like? Did anyone here ever watch the Sledgehammer television series?
Yeah.
I know
it was like 5 years earlier.
So at the end of Sledgehammer season 1, they were going to get canceled. And Sledgehammer, do you know what Sledgehammer is, Greymalkin?
No, I'm going over.
Danny Elfman did the intro music, I think, or somebody big. I think it was Danny Elfman.
Probably.
Yeah, you can. Somebody can check that. But anyways, so check it, Sean. So Sledgehammer is about this guy who's like a Dirty Harry kind of cop, and he talks to his gun and all that. It's so funny. It's absolute. So in the beginning, in the first episode, he literally goes to his grocery store and there's a shootout, and he's carrying his groceries.
Peter Gabriel did it.
Oh damn! I thought the theme music.
Yeah. Well, Peter Gabriel's pretty big.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. But I thought it was like a nerdy person. Okay,
I don't know.
Okay, so in the beginning, he goes to get groceries, and there's a shootout, and he's on the news with his groceries, and he literally killed the people, and they're talking to him. They're like, "Oh, detective, his name is Sledgehammer." So they're like, "Detective Hammer, like, is what you did in the grocery store, was that absolutely necessary?" That's it.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Was that?"
Yeah, what I said. He made a song called Sledgehammer, right? Anyway.
Okay. So see, check for Sledgehammer TV series.
Yeah, I'll check it.
Yeah, I'm checking now.
Okay, so so they're talking to him and they're like, "Oh, was what you did in the grocery store absolutely necessary?" He's like, "Oh yes, I was completely out of milk," and they're like, "No, like we mean shooting the people," and then he's like, "Oh yeah." Like he doesn't care, and then literally there's a sniper on this building, on the roof of the building. He pops his trunk open. He takes out a bazooka and blows up the entire building to kill one sniper on the roof, and then literally he gets to work, and the chief is like, "Hammer, get in my office right now." And he goes, "You couldn't help blowing up a building on your way to work this morning, could you?" So anyways, at the end of this season, so they're getting canceled.
Yeah.
So at the end of the season finale of season 1, it was going to be the series finale.
Right.
So what happened was they said, "You're canceled." So what they did was they had Hammer try to disarm a nuclear weapon, and his big thing was, "Trust me, I know what I'm doing." So the chief is like, he goes, "Hammer, can you disarm that bomb?" And he's like, "Trust me, I know what I'm doing." And it's like, boom, mushroom cloud, everyone dies. So then great. They said, they're like your main character just killed everybody, and they're like, "Well, okay, what are you going to do now?" And
it's said to be continued.
It's said to be continued. Well, no. So what happened was that they were getting canceled, and they did all that. Then the producers were like, "Oh my God, you're blowing everyone up. This is crazy." And they're like, "We're going to give you a season 2." So then the season 2 the first episode of season 2, everyone's dead. So the first episode of season 2, it literally says the following season takes place 5 years before the bomb, and then it's just a normal season like everything else. And you're like, and it was the biggest cop out of all. It was so great.
The network renewed them just to see how they're gonna get out of it, and that's how they got out of it.
And that's how they got out of it.
Danny Elfman did the music.
Danny Elfman did the music. Yeah,
I told you.
I'll look at these quotes. Detective Dory, I don't know, is it Dory?
Yeah.
He's like, what? You think all women should be barefoot and pregnant? No, I encourage women to wear shoes. Like, that's an old joke, but it's funny.
No, so there's another. What's this is gonna be bad, but I don't know how many amendments are there.
Amendments?
20 something, 26.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm an American. I don't know.
Okay, so let's say there's 26 amendments. Sure. So they're like, Hammer, you've broken 25 of the 26 amendments. He's like, what? I missed one?
When he went on trial, that was the damn best. This guy comes storming out like they're like recording to Detective Hammer's trial, and this man comes storming out. And they're like, sir, do you think Detective Hammer's guilty? He's like, yes, he definitely is. And he like goes off, and they're like, that's his lawyer.
Okay, all right, I looked it up. There are 27 amendments.
27.
Yeah, you've broken 26 of the 27 amendments. He's like, what? I missed one.
So, I think if they were to do that now, they would probably gender swap it, make her one of the most. Actually, right. You know what? Melissa McCarthy will be hilarious.
Yeah.
Right, they'll make her Sledgehammer.
They are trying to do a reboot, but they're trying to reboot everything. But the thing is, Sledgehammer was a spoof of the time. Like, at the time, there was stuff like Dirty Harry and everything in the theaters. Yeah. So there's nothing kind of like that now. You know, it was all like John Wick is an anomaly, but John Wick was like the common thing in the 80s. You know, so.
And the problem is that John Wick would not be like, he's not offensive. Because he doesn't speak. Right? Yeah. Like, he doesn't actually say anything. Yeah. If you watch Dirty Harry or any of those things now, you're like, oh dear. Like, don't.
I love Dirty Harry.
Like, I look at any action movie from the 80s. I was watching Another 48 Hours a few months ago.
But those are extreme. Yeah. Those two movies are extreme in terms of language.
Yeah. But, they're great.
But
I approve. I approve all 80s action movies and all 80s horror movies.
I mean, Blazing Saddles, even.
Blazing Saddles.
People would have it's hilarious.
It takes a piss out of racism, right? So
this is funny how they did it.
People would be super offended.
Like there was the beginning where I want the Cowboys. They're trying to make the black people old time spirituals, and they it's Frank Sinatra. They're like, no, sing a spiritual. It's like,
then they make them look stupid, and they're like,
they're like, it's like, no, let them do that.
Comedy has suffered a lot. Horror movies have suffered a lot too because it's all very tame horror movies. Except for Saw, maybe.
Get Out.
Like,
I think Get Out. I thought Get Out was going to be the first of a new genre. I thought they're going to go into like racial horror, and not necessarily a monster. It's just the feeling, like
I liked Get Out. I liked what was the other? I liked.
Both are really good. Yeah.
I liked that movie. It was a bit weird, and it's like a bit like, okay, well, what really happened? Like, how did they really, how did these tethered actually work? But whatever. Like, I'm looking for cool ideas. I'm a horror movie fanatic, so if I see a cool idea, I can forgive a lot of like plot details that might be weird. Like, well, how did this happen, or how did that happen? Look, it's a cool idea. I've never seen that in Us. I've never seen that kind of concept done in that way before.
But there's too much paranormal bullshit now. It's like it's all very low budget, lame stuff. Like a door closes or like a freaking thing goes across the room. And I'm like, oh my god! Like nothing really happened.
Yeah, it's like this will happen.
The worst was it, guys. Like I'm a Stephen King guy.
Yeah.
And like watching It Chapter 1 in the theater. I didn't see Chapter 2. I do own it. I did continue to buy every Stephen King thing. Okay. But like I watched it in the theater. I was sitting beside this family. For a family usually sits beside me when I'm in the movies. by myself. I don't know why. It's almost like they adopt me for that movie or something. It's just like, and it was this lady, and I think a lady and her daughter or her child. And the fact that you could bring a child into this movie is already a bad sign. And she was like freaked out at the end because it said to be continued. And she was like, oh my God, there's going to be a second one? There's more of this? And I'm like, this is pretty bad, man. This is like, you've graduated university and you're going back to grade 2. That's exactly what I equate it to.
Right.
It's horrible. Right.
But Sean, when you said horrors kind of, you get those really good ones. Like James Gunn came out with a movie a while back called The Bilko Experiment. Where,
that's the Office one in The Office, right?
Pasta type of thing, yeah.
It's cool. I like that kind of thing.
I like the idea behind creepypastas in that it could be true. Like, you have to have that edge of like it might be true kind of thing, right? Because when I was a kid, I loved that book Communion, which was that Whitley Strieber book about like how he's abducted by aliens. I read it now and it sounds fake, but when I was a kid, I was like, oh my God, like, and they had these transcriptions of people talking about their abductions. I'm like, oh my God, it's real. There's that edge to it that makes you want to believe it's real and you get scared. But I don't know. I mean, there's too much of that kind of thing now. And they're all very low budget and formulaic.
Yeah.
So, Exorcism of Emily Rose was good because it had a little cool to it. Yeah. It's like you could go either way with that. Say it's real or it's not. And there's a courtroom drama, which was cool. So
yeah.
I want to see horror movies, but like more realistic. I would love to see Scream, but in a black neighborhood. It's like, well, it's like, I'm ready for it.
Black version of everything. It's like that'll be the next genre.
They tried to, I think that they tried to do that with Attack the Block a bit, didn't they? Where it was like
that was good too.
Yeah, aliens invade that like a neighborhood like that.
Yeah, like that neighborhood. The only problem is that they made me dislike those guys right off the bat, so I didn't get over that.
Well, you were supposed to though. I mean, this is about
I know.
Together. This is the neighborhood's coming together.
I know.
You think about it, they had a future Star Wars actor and a future Doctor Who.
They did
the same movie
and Firestorm.
Oh yeah, and Firestorm.
Yeah. We're forgetting both Leprechaun in the Hood movies.
I have them over there.
They went back.
It's funny because they made like 5 or 6 sequels of Leprechaun, but like Leprechaun in the Hood had like a Leprechaun in the Hood 2.
It's back to the Hood.
Yeah.
We didn't say all we wanted to say in the first one.
There was a lot more to talk about.
The first one. I want to see more of that. I want to see movies where the bad guy wins. Like, have a bad ending. That used to be a thing.
That used to be standard in horror movies. Yeah.
Black Christmas.
Black Christmas, Phantasm.
What's this movie? It was with Johnny Depp. When he wasn't a weirdo, he was a book collector.
Ninth Gate.
He lost.
Yeah.
He won, but
he lost.
Bad guy won. Like I want more. Like, we don't need happy endings all the time because that is not how life works.
I liked in 1408 where they died. I don't know what the alternate ending of that was, but
the alternate ending was he got out of the room.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I like that one.
He shouldn't get out. Did he get out?
No. But the thing about it is, though, he got a tape that he recorded when he was in the room because he thought like all this was in his head, and then he played it and like he heard his daughter's voice. He's like, and then his wife heard it. Like, oh, all he saw was real.
Right. I don't like when people like if you walk into the room, you die. Except this time.
Yeah.
I hate.
Yeah.
If the rules are you walk in, you die. You walk in, you die. Not you walk in, you die. You know which one I liked was Oculus. That's a new movie with Karen Gillan.
Yes.
And Katie Sackhoff, who I like both those. I have both their autographs. Oh my God. Well, no, I don't have Karen Gillan's autograph, but I got a photo with her. but yeah, and that was killer because she went through every logical step. It's like, okay, I'm going to film this, I'm going to do this, and it's like, no, it still got you because it's supernatural and you can't beat it with technology. And I liked that.
That was a really terrific horror movie. Mike Flanagan is like one of the last good horror movies. Like Dr. Sleep, his adaptation of Dr. Sleep was really good.
You guys remember The Cube?
I have all 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
Canadian, man.
Oh, okay. All right. I had to be sure. I couldn't assume. All right. I don't like to you assume you make an ass out of you and me, and I am not going to be an ass. No. Like The Cube was great because you got bad endings. Like you had instances where everybody died, and you just saw somebody on the end like, huh, okay, everybody died. That's dead.
Well, like in Cube, only the one fellow who was who had the mental handicap.
Yeah.
And he can't explain to anybody what happened. So it's like
they just keep him in there as an NPC.
Yeah, he's just there. Like he doesn't
even
know
that movie Circle.
Circle.
Oh, that was good too. That was really good.
Yeah. You know.
Did I was watching, I don't know if you guys got, or Sean, did you get Into Darkness Part 2 or no? Did you get Into Darkness Part 1?
No.
You guys didn't get that? That's it's like a 4.5-hour documentary on 80s horror movies, and there's a Part 2.
Oh, I didn't get those, no.
Oh, my name is in the credits, man. Help me out.
He's like, I'm trying to get a plug.
I'm trying to get a plug in here. It's okay. There's 4 million names. All you have to do is back it on Kickstarter, so your name gets in there. But so I now have a 9-hour 80s horror movie documentary. It's great. And just going through all of them, like, wow, all these movies were so cool. I love the 80s horror movies. It's like I just can't get into the new ones, except for Saw, where I really liked it. Oculus was good. There's a few ones here and there. I didn't watch Possessor yet. That's Cronenberg's son. And what else did I just recently get that's horror? I'm trying to see. I think that's like the most recent one I got. I bought the VHS movies just to complete that series. I don't know if you guys like.
Yeah, 2's the best.
2's the best, obvious.
2, I really liked. I haven't seen 1 or 3 yet.
Yeah, I think I only showed. Did I show you?
You only showed me 2.
Yeah, 3 is okay. Did you see the VHS?
I'm going to say this about the Saw movies: torture porn. All it is.
No, it's not. It's
not Hostel. I mean,
that too. But also, I'm surprised nobody who got out of one of those traps got really, really angry and wanted to hunt Jigsaw down. Because if I was in that situation and I got out, I'd be like, "Oh, he don't know who he's dealing with."
Hey, I wrote one of my short stories. I am also a published author on Amazon.
Nice.
One of my short stories deals with that, with someone who gets captured and then he escapes and he's going to be like, "Oh, I'm going to go after these people." But I did.
That's what it is. The Collector.
That's a great.
Yeah.
Okay. So what they should have done was the first one was called Collector.
Yeah.
And the next one was called The Collection.
Right. Yeah.
The third one needs to be called The Collected.
It is. It is.
It is?
Yeah.
There's no third one yet, is there?
They were filming it, but they
budget problems, right?
Yeah, they're having budget problems. But it was called The Collected. You're right.
Yeah, because he gets him in the end, right?
Yeah,
right. That was cool. That was
cool. So he gets him. I like that.
And the guy was screaming in that little box. He's like, "Let me out!" He's like,
"Yeah."
Are you like?
There you have the bad guy winning at the end, Gray. Like in the first movie, he ends up in the box, right?
Yeah, he wins.
Yeah, he did. He did.
And he wins in that one.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Yeah,
I'm trying to look at I've got a perfect view of my horror movie collection, but the lighting is all pointing over here, so it's hard to kind of see everything I've got. But I'm trying to see like anything new that hasn't been filed yet. But yeah, really Possessor. I bought Underwater with Kristen Stewart. It was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was all done with CGI pretty much. Like there's no actual water anywhere.
Nice.
Which is
wow.
That's there's no water. Like it's all fake. Like they're not underwater.
Nice.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they're not underwater. Like it's all Aquaman or whatever. So I don't know what the but yeah, watching that documentary was like, wow, all these great old 80s horror movies, they were so cool.
Well, they were imaginative, and they were different kinds of ones, right? And
yeah.
I'm willing to bet, like I haven't seen that, but I'm willing to bet a lot of the stuff they're cult classics now, but they weren't hits back then.
Right.
No.
That's the thing. And now it's hard to fathom that Thing was never a hit.
Right.
A lot of that stuff
wrong.
But,
yeah. The Fog.
I love The Fog.
Devil.
Devil's okay.
Really? I don't know. I like movies where they deal with like not a ghost, but like an actual demon. Like that's scary to me because you guys remember the end? That old lady come at me is like,
yeah,
I've been watching you the entire time.
Yeah, no, that was at the period where I didn't trust anything Shyamalan did, and I think he produced that one.
Yeah,
I didn't see it. I
was just like, eh.
I watch anything Shyamalan does. He's interesting. He's disappointing, but he's interesting.
And Sean and I saw The Village in the theater, and literally we're sitting there, and we're like, "Oh Jesus Christ, this better not be the ending." Because Sean had read earlier that this was the ending, and I thought this is right out of a Twilight Zone episode, which would have been 20 minutes, at the time, and it's like. Literally, and we're like, oh God, no, it's happening. And we're like, oh, it's so brutal. Because it doesn't make sense. I don't care about the ending, but it doesn't make sense in the story they're telling. Like, it's like,
and they cheat in the beginning because they have a date in the beginning. It's like, well, you're saying that, but that's not true. So you cheated.
You cheated, right?
Yeah.
It's like they didn't want you to think about it and figure it out, and it's like,
right,
why would they let her go? Like, I just don't understand. It's like,
but that whole trope is always eye rolling. I mean, they just used it in another movie. Dare I mention the name, or did you guys watch it?
I don't know. I'm just mentioning. Who cares?
Antebellum.
No.
Yeah. And everyone rolled their eyes there. It's like, please stop using this stupidness where it's like it's the past, but it's not the past. It's some sort of weird cult thing, and it's dumb.
Well, I didn't see all the Pales and Tins treatment in Avatar.
Yeah.
Avatar was awful. Avatar was awful.
I always say The Happening's worse is because of Zooey Deschanel, because she cannot act.
So I agree with you. I do not like Zooey Deschanel at all.
She was a horrible person the entire movie.
She is consistently annoying. She could have a 5-second cameo and that would be annoying. I've given her multiple shots. She's just annoying in everything. But I will say this. And this is going to sound like the stupidest comment that ever has come from my mouth, which is saying something. If The Happening had been black and white, it would have been way better.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. And it's because it was meant to be a harken back to those 50s.
That's what James is saying.
Things, and it wasn't. And James is right. Like, it was supposed to be that. It wasn't. Colorizing it was a fail. I kind of feel the same with The Mist. They never should have colorized The Mist.
Right.
But like, the worst for me was still Lady in the Water.
That was awful.
That was awful. An awful movie. Like one guy is just strengthening one side of his body. I'm like,
just a bunch of ideas.
Yeah, it's just weird. And they're like, they're getting their ideas from cereal boxes. I'm not joking. And then like the creatures that kill the film critic, I'm like, this is just awful. And it's really bad because Paul Giamatti is brilliant and he's just wasted in this movie. It's just god awful.
You can tell
there's 2 comeback films.
You owe somebody a favor.
Yeah. Well, I like the visit.
Oh, sorry.
I like the visit where with the creepy grandparents. That was cool. And I felt like he was making fun of modern day horror movies with the different things that were happening in that. And I liked Split. I didn't see the trailer.
I really like Split.
when I saw Split, I was like stunned by everything. I had no idea he was like the woman and the man.
Yeah.
So, hey, James McAvoy is a great actor.
Yeah, he was brilliant in that film. But like, and then we got Glass, which just tore it all down.
I didn't see Glass. I said 2 comeback movies, not that the other one.
Glass is garbage, and I was looking forward to Glass. I saw Split, and I'm like, oh man, they're going to combine the guys from Unbreakable and Split. This is going to be incredible. And then it just laid a big golden egg.
No, and also remember what you find out that lady was part of that organization. And they were like, "Oh, we're doing this because we can't have superheroes." Like that is the most hateful thing.
It was M. Night Shyamalan channeling everything bad, like that After Earth movie with Will Smith and his. I saw that in the theater.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And afterwards, it was like one of those movies where you want your money back. It was bad. It was bad. Will Smith was doing his best impression of a robot. Like I thought it was iRobot, and he was a robot this time. He was
is it Jaden Smith? He has a weird accent in that movie, and I don't know if that's like a choice or a future thing or.
It's terrible. Yeah. It's terrible.
I skipped all okay. I mean, Sixth Sense. I saw that twice in the theater. I thought that was great. The Sixth Sense, and then now I don't care about it as much, but back then it was cool.
Yeah.
And then Unbreakable, I thought was really cool.
It's genius.
And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And then what was after that?
Signs.
Oh, Signs, which I thought was great till the ending. The ending, it's like they're just killed by water, and I thought, oh, this is so bad. Like, and I thought,
better than Worlds with Steven Spielberg and Tom Cruise. They died from the common cold.
Well, that's a classic ending.
But that's a classic ending. But hold on a second. They've buried ships beforehand, and those aliens would not expect that we, as the human race, would destroy our own ecosystem so badly that there'd be toxins in the air to them. The aliens in Signs have come now, so they know there's moisture in the air and there's water everywhere, and we're made up of water, so we could spit on them.
Right.
It's like that's like us as a human race invading a planet of lava in the nude. It's like why wouldn't they wear suits or something? Like the aliens in War of the Worlds still had technology, and it's only when they got exposed and they were eating us and we had so much toxins that they started to get.
I hate naked aliens as a trope. It's because no one ever thinks beyond like it's an alien, so they design an alien. It's this naked dude like walking around. It's like they've mastered interstellar travel when they wear clothes.
Or at least didn't master pants.
We have never mastered pants. Like
Signs actually wasn't that bad. It was pretty creepy. Yeah. The alien at the birthday party was very creepy.
Yeah.
We all knew that those crop circles were fake. I literally watched the Unsolved Mysteries on that.
Oh, we know that.
We know that was fake.
Yeah.
So that was a stupid trope to use because it's like then they're like, no, these aren't fake. But we already know the other ones are fake. Why would you want us to think of the fake ones?
They're made by giant Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. I remember that.
Also,
go ahead, Gray.
Proved to me that Joaquin Phoenix, I don't get it. He's like, I don't get it.
He's an interesting.
Is he just uselessly handsome? He's like, that mouth breathing dummy.
I believe you're right. Like James, I believe you're right. He wanted a franchise. He definitely wanted it, and he wanted his son to be the star. Yeah. The problem is that Will Smith is a very charismatic personality. You pay money to see Will Smith be Will Smith. And I'm not saying he's not a good actor, but like there's certain things you're paying for. And when he's subdued and you're just left with his son, who is not as talented as Will Smith, sorry.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
You're like, oh, what did I pay money for? And I think he wanted that for his son. I get it. I think he wanted his son to be a star from it. Right. Didn't work. Wrong idea.
Yeah, and it was the wrong path to take. The way if you're gonna bring in like kids or something, you either have to do one of two things. Either you bring them in and have them just be a small little part and have them do a couple of cool things in the movie and that's it. Don't try to make them. I didn't see whatever it's called, After Earth. Is that what it's called?
It's After.
Yeah, I didn't see it. So but don't try to make them the star right out the gate here, because it's like people are just like, why don't care about
build up. Yeah, I get it.
What?
Yeah, like let him get a few movies under his belt, or give him a couple of little things.
There are other movies before that.
What? Yeah,
but not where he's like. I mean, in this movie, he should do a few cool things.
Yeah,
people are like, oh, that was cool. I like where his son did this or that. If he's the whole movie, there's a good chance that people aren't going to care. Plus, I don't like kids anyways. Like, usually.
Well, I can't believe you guys talked about War of the Worlds and didn't mention that perfectly immaculate street in Boston where everyone fled and evaded the invasion, and it was all nice at the end. I got to tell you, if there is an actual alien invasion at any point in time, I am fleeing to Boston and finding that street, because you will be fine. There was like one overturned car or something. That's it. And I was like,
a character's trying to find the comfort of home in a giant invasion or disaster is a stupid movie trope. They used it in that Godzilla King of the Monsters thing, and it made no sense. Like where Millie Bobby Brown's trying to go home, and it's like, home is in a battlefield with giant monsters. What are you doing? Are you a human? Like what? Like no person is going to think of this. What the hell's wrong with you?
I was under the impression that they want. Yeah, I was under the impression that she was doing that in order to kind of give her parents like sort of like a
mission, thing, like a common thing to
like, oh, that's where I'm gonna be or whatever. Yeah. Whatever. I mean, yeah, like that was weird. But I mean, like, look, I can accept. It's one of these things where, look, I can accept it if I like it, and if I don't, if I like the movie. War of the Worlds, when it came out, I wasn't that big of a fan of it either, because there's a lot of like stuff that I didn't care. Like, it took away the action, and it was more about like, oh, Tom Cruise and his annoying family or whatever. And I thought, because if you listen to the, I don't know if you guys like the, I've lost the name now, darn it. It's the, what's the guy's name? It's War of the Worlds. It's like a musical production.
Okay.
I have it on my iPhone, which I could literally get it, I guess.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
If I need to get it, I can freaking get it. It's the War of the Worlds. Jeff Wayne's
right.
War of the Worlds.
Okay.
Have you heard that? Anybody?
I haven't.
I think you played some of it.
Oh my god! Are you guys for real right now? Okay, mission for this weekend. Sean, this is for sure mission for you, dude. Check out Jeff Wayne War of the Worlds. There's two versions. Liam Neeson does the voice in the remastered English version. The original guy is Richard Burton.
Yeah.
So I can't play it because it'll get shut down.
YouTube will come after you.
This is the cover. This is the original one. I bought this on iTunes.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So they've actually done like an entire ride based on this. It was very popular in Britain or whatever. It's 1978, and it's the damn best. And it's this guy narrating the whole War of the Worlds with music playing, and it's like super epic.
Nice.
And the other soundtrack I bought was
a movie then.
No, so they made it into. I've actually have the videos of it. So if you go see it on stage, they made like CGI a movie out of it with the actors talking over. So if you see the Liam Neeson one, just look up YouTube and you can see clips of it. The movie is sick. It's like the movie with but it's not this movie. It's their own interpretation. Yeah. It's Jeff Wayne's interpretation of it. I super strongly hyper recommend. And Sean, I'm slightly surprised that you haven't seen it, but I'm excited.
I'm surprised too. It sounds like a big thing that like I totally, because I know all about the radio play. I
got that on vinyl.
Yeah.
And I lived and breathed the old the movie from the 50s.
Yeah.
That was awesome. And the effects still hold up, man. When they're blasting away those buildings.
Yeah, for sure.
And they made that TV series in the 80s, which was a sequel to that 50s show. Yeah. That was cool.
I'm so pumped that you don't know.
I've never heard of this.
So a buddy of mine at work, he's got this on vinyl and he's got it framed and all that. Like, he told me about it a few years ago, and I've been like cranking this shit in the car for like years now. And I actually bought it on iTunes. Who buys stuff on iTunes? Like, I actually bought it. I bought it officially because I was just too pumped up for it. Am I behind on chats? I think I am behind on chats.
I see it.
Oh, Jaden could have cared less, but yeah, probably.
Yeah.
He was fine. Yeah, I mean, he was fine in Karate Kid, but I can't watch that movie. I watched it once, and I'm like, I'm never watching this again.
I never
even bothered.
And it didn't carry the legacy of Karate Kid. Like even after that, like on How I Met Your Mother, they were still talking about the original Karate Kid. And I'm convinced that show is the reason why we have Cobra Kai today, because they brought everyone back. They brought the two actors back, and they still have a rivalry like on the show, right? And then that brought awareness to Karate Kid again.
You know,
did you watch Cobra Kai, Greymalkin?
I never got into Karate Kid. It was just kind of like I saw the third one with Hilary Swank.
That's the fourth one.
The fourth one, yeah. That's the last one.
Like, don't get it. I'm out. I'm moving on.
No.
I know, but that's the last one. It's not even the good one.
Those are the good ones.
The Hilary Swank one is a little brutal.
Yeah. The thing is, Sean and I. Yeah, Sean and I are super Karate Kid mega nerds. Like, we'll just do dialogue from the movie for no reason. Like, Sean and I used to do all the shows together. We do the toy shows together, so we would just like do dialogue from these random movies. Sean and I wrote a script for Ghostbusters 3. It's absolutely genius, if I say so myself. We wrote it. It took us about a few hours, and we wrote it. And we're like sitting here thinking,
we mapped out the whole thing.
We mapped out this entire movie in like 4 hours, and I'm like, seriously,
I don't know what Dan Aykroyd's doing. Like, what the hell, man?
Like, we mapped. I'm like,
every time I heard like a concept from Dan Aykroyd about Ghostbusters, it was some dumbass gimmick.
Right.
Like, and they all sounded like they came from the cartoon. So yeah.
No, Dan Aykroyd was making wine. That's what he was doing. Like that's his thing now.
You're gonna say Greymalkin?
Oh no! See, the thing about it is, like, the actors have no control over these movies. Like Steven, you said it earlier. It's these studios. Like, if they're not feeling it, it doesn't matter how good the script is or how good. Like, you gotta pull them in, and most of the time, you gotta be friends with them.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely right.
And Dan Aykroyd's written some weird. Did he write that one? What's the name of it? Trouble, Big Trouble. No,
Nothing but Trouble.
Nothing but Trouble.
Yeah, he did.
It was
absolutely
that was his ego unchained.
That was like literally. I mean, that movie now is just awesome because it's just so outrageous.
Yeah,
like, and he's got like a penis nose. His nose is a penis. It's so weird.
What's weird is the cast he got for that. John Candy, Chevy Chase, Demi Moore, and Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah.
Was that Tupac's movie debut?
Yeah.
I think it was, right?
Digital Underground. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was his debut?
Yeah.
That's scary.
That is so weird. What a random trivia
ending, because everybody made it out. Like, even the bad guys, they were like, "We're coming to my son-in-law, my grandson-in-law." Like,
oh my God. I gotta watch that again.
I was such a disappointment. I was like, "What the hell is?" When I saw a video, I'm like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah, I saw it on TV.
I saw it on TV, and I just thought it was so weird. But like, I love Chevy Chase. Before I started this live stream, I was watching Fletch again for the 4,000th time. I'm not. I'm trying. I almost know all the dialogue. I'm not perfect. I was flubbing in the beginning. I was very embarrassed. Because I try to, damn, I was so close. It's like I was just off on a few words and stuff and the timing a little bit, but like I pride myself on trying to memorize, like my godbrother and I, Brennan, who was in the chat earlier, we used to do Ghostbusters. We used to work together and we used to do Ghostbusters lines. So we would just do all the lines of Ghostbusters and everything. It's like we could do the whole movie. And he watched Alien probably, like, I don't know how many times you want. I think Alien Ghostbusters we would do. I like Alien Part 1 more than Aliens.
Okay. All right, J-Bet. Probably say that. My brother, he just had a kid today, and when he first
congratulations,
yeah.
But when he first heard it, I kind of messed with him. And I said, like, remember the movie Alien? Like something just growing inside and just comes out and just everyone around you.
Now in Spaceballs, he did a little dance and
yeah.
No. And what? Hello, my baby.
Hello, my honey.
And he's like doing the dance. And he's tipping his hat and everything. And it's like
he goes all from Looney Tunes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Brennan's still in the chat. What's going on? But remember, we used to work together. We used to do the Ghostbusters lines, and I'm trying to remember the atomic weight of cobalt, because that's what he used as the when he goes, oh, are you sure about this? He's like, is the atomic weight of cobalt 3.5? You know, whatever the number
Yeah.
is. Also, I say, I don't know.
To your parents. Well,
58.9.
58 point. Yes, it was cobalt. Yeah. Yeah, and he goes, "Are you sure about that?" Or whatever. He goes, "Is the atomic weight of cobalt 58.9?" It's like,
I don't know.
I guess so. I like Ghostbusters too. I know everyone hates that movie, but
no, Ghostbusters 2 was great.
It's great.
I don't care what anybody says.
That's fine.
Because okay, the fact that Venkman was talking trash to that painting the entire time.
Oh,
he just went after Venkman like, man.
I just like how Louis Tully became a lawyer. I'm like, when the hell did that happen?
Yeah.
I'm wondering how Louis Tully got Janine.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's
move on.
Fake
Right?
too.
He couldn't get Egon, so he's like, okay, next best thing.
Yeah. But I love Janosch or whatever.
Yeah.
Dr. Venkman, where you came?
He was like, I love you. And like, it was. I saw that when I was a little kid. My stepdad was like, sounds a little gay to me.
Dr. Venkman.
Nothing beats the first one where it's like Ray. If someone asks you if you are a god, you say yes.
and then they're like, it's like, Ray has gone bye, Egon. What have you got left? And he's like, I'm sorry, Venkman. I'm paralyzed beyond the realm of rational thought. Like even when he's like lost his mind, it's still very like logical and like.
Oh, it was like Ghostbusters was great. I don't understand why people didn't like the second one. I don't get that.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of ghost busting in it. There's one scene.
Investigation. A lot.
Oh, yeah. I mean that's part of the job, though, right? I mean they're basically ghost cops. They have to figure out what's going on and like go through which plant. Oh, okay, all right. Remember the slime thing when they put the slime in the toaster and it's
cool.
Yeah, it was dancing around.
That's part.
I had to clean my toaster today, coincidentally.
CSI.
and I like when Venkman's got that TV series and he's like, aliens. Sometimes you get some good ones like E.T. or Starman, but some of them you just can't trust them, you know. And it's just
I can't. But for TV shows, I can't do any. I never got over UHF when you showed it to me.
Yeah.
When he had that show and he goes up to the old lady, he's like, "Sex with furniture, your thoughts."
Yeah, and he goes, this week on Town Talk, it's like Nazi lesbian hookers who were abducted by aliens and forced into weight loss programs.
My question is, why are you gonna snitch on somebody who helped you out physically, like helped you out try to get your body like just so you get your body right?
I mean, like, hopefully this Ghostbusters is good. I mean, I don't know.
That's the only one. Make bad movies. Name one bad Paul Rudd movie after 1999.
I don't know I don't know. I
don't know.
I can probably name 3.
Yeah,
he was barely in it.
I don't like comedies as much. The comedies that I like are like Big Lebowski, or anything that has a lot of like cleverness to it. I don't like a lot of the embarrassment comedies where it's like, 40-year-old virgin and that kind of a thing where it's like they're making fun of that. And I thought that movie was very boring, and I actually thought it had a very bad message because at the end he sold all of his cool stuff, and it's like, well, shouldn't the person accept you for who you are and not have you, like, my wife has collectibles too, so it's like we both have collectibles together, you know? Or she didn't have any when I met her, and I eventually brought her into the nerd.
Funny thing about Before You're Old Virgin, they have this one line where Kathleen Keener? Is there a Keener?
Yeah, Catherine Keener. Yeah.
Okay, she was saying like, why won't you have sex with me? You want me to dress like Thor? I'll dress like Thor. I'm like, okay, if that movie came out 10 years later, it would be the entire theater would have died for a good 2 minutes.
Yeah, like I mean, I like Ant-Man a lot. I like Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. I know some people are like, I really like Ant-Man a lot. Like I think it's like one of my favorites of the MCU.
Yeah.
Especially the first one. The second one's like okay, but I don't know. I like Paul Rudd. It seems like Paul Rudd's a really cool person. I like him in Clueless.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great movie.
Okay, I will say this about Ant-Man 2. They had Walter Goggin was completely wasted because I know like they like to put him as like the really the racist guy, or I guess lately he's been playing a woman because he was in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
Hey, good for him. The fact that he's that versatile where he could play a woman.
Yeah.
And like I get it. But
there were so many people wasting that movie though. The actress who played Ghost is like phenomenal. She's a really good actress, and she just got the character was wasted. She was wasted.
Yeah, Marvel does that sometimes, like the Dark Elf from.
They misuse a Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hire anybody then. What the hell's wrong with you?
Pretty bad how they screwed that one up.
Yeah, and Eccleston is awesome. Man.
He really is. He's my first Doctor.
He's your first Doctor. Yeah, he's awesome.
They wasted Guy Pearce in Iron Man 3.
Yeah, he's a good actor too.
Like that was pretty bad. Of course, J-Man liked that, man. something went down last week at the comic shop where we were having this argument about Wonder Woman 1984, and because I love it, and
it's triggering.
It's very triggering. I love it, and look, we're just gonna get this out there. It's 10 out of 10 for me. I don't care. I've watched it a few times now. It's 10 out of 10. That's a done. So I said that at the comic shop, and it was like the Birds, man. Freaking Alfred Hitchcock. There was people in the shop that I didn't even know were there. Everyone's like, "What? What?
Oh, what are you talking about?"
And they all came out to attack. I was facing off. I was facing off 3 people at once, and it was like, what? Like, the comic shop has huge shelves, but you can't see behind them. And all of a sudden, it was the Birds. It's like everyone flocked. They're like, "Oh shit, what the heck?" And I'm like, "Guys, man, I argued for 40 minutes. And I'm like, I gotta get home to eat, man. I'm like, because I still do. Everyone knows I do I've lost a lot of weight over the years, or I lost 110 pounds or so. So I'm on a certain, like I do intermittent fasting. Yeah. So I always eat at the same times. I'm like, guys, I gotta eat. I gotta go home and eat. It is unmatched, and I will fight people. Thanks, James, for coming by. Take care, James.
Oh, hi.
Oh no! Don't! I've lost many subscribers. I've lost too many.
Joe is amazing. Okay, Chris Pine. He's super underrated.
Of course,
he's super underrated. Pedro Pascal. Look at his name, Pedro Pascal. All right, he just sounds like he has a couple of villas and he's a lord. And, and then you got, your girl, Steven, Kristen Wiig.
Yeah, Kristen Wiig, who Steven loves.
But this wasn't a comedic role. I never said she was not a good performer. I just said I don't like her comedy. Stop.
Right. Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
You know what? Actually, she did this one movie where she played like a mentally, not mental, but she had a bunch of money and she bought all this time on public access and just did her own show. And it got really weird at times, but it developed a following or something. I forget what it's called, but
sounds interesting.
Yeah,
that's not. I never.
Let me look it up. I'll look it up.
I mean, she was the female lead in Secret Life of Walter Mitty, which I thought was a really damn good movie.
Oh yeah, man! I avoided it like the plague.
No, it's really good.
It's a remake, and I like the original.
I know.
Yeah, and I like the story too. So Yeah.
Well, hold on a second. So, like I've got the Danny Kaye movie.
Yeah.
On DVD. It's actually, I don't know, it might be part of my collection. I don't remember if it could be in my wife's collection, but I don't remember. It was in hers and she may have given it to me. She loves it as well. And I avoided that movie as well. And my wife watched it and she said it was really good. So I was in shock because my wife hates pretty much every remake. She pretty much hates anything if it's black and white, there's a good chance she'll like it. But if it's not black and white, there's not a great chance she'll like it. She doesn't like Wonder Woman 1984, but for different reasons. Not for the reasons that people say they don't like it. She just thought like it didn't make sense to her, and maybe it did, maybe it didn't. Who knows?
Okay, I found the movie. It's called.
Okay, what's the movie?
Sorry, Welcome to Me.
Welcome to Me.
Yeah, she plays a lottery winner with borderline personality disorder who uses her newfound wealth to write and star in her own syndicated talk show.
Oh my god, that's weird. That sounds neat. I'll get that. Is it just a one thing?
It was one. It came out like 6 years ago.
I can find it.
Yeah,
2014. It's
we can find it. We've got our friends on the high seas. They can find anything. Remember? What was that? What was that movie? Oh, darn! Sean will remember. Was that Ice Pirates? No.
Ice Pirates is a movie, but yeah.
No, not Ice Pirates. But what was the movie that had the pirates in it? They're the maybe Time Bandits? No, darn.
Pirates of Penzance.
You have to tell me.
The Jack Black movie or no?
No. And they're pirating VHS tapes. And they're actually,
and they did satire. Airplane went off and did their own individual things. Like one of the Zucker brothers went on to do Ghost and all that stuff.
You know what? The Wayans brothers too.
Yeah,
they did the show, and then they did the Don't Be a Menace in South Central.
While drinking your juice in the hood. That's a great movie, and the girl's got a. And the girl has like literally a kid from every race. There's like an Asian kid, there's a white kid, there's a black kid, there's like a Latino kid. She's literally slept with every like race there is.
Yeah. One thing about these Wayans brothers movies, if you pause in like any kind of frame, you'll see like jokes on the wall. Like they'll have like one like Robo Pimp, OE English. Like they did the same thing with a Scary Movie. There was a scene where they have the main girl and Shawn Wayans in the lunchroom. In the background, you see today's special, same old shit.
There's some very clever stuff. Yeah, Don't Be a Menace, and then Don't Be a Menace. That whole time, because the thing is like at that time I literally I'd seen all those movies.
Yeah.
And like, Menace to Society, like these were serious movies.
Oh yeah.
And I'd like, Higher Learning, Menace to Society. I mean, all of those. I'd seen at Boys in the Hood, and I had seen all of those once. Although Boys in the Hood seemed lighter than Menace to Society.
It was an special.
Yeah, it was a little bit more. I thought so too, because I watch a lot of this like genre of films, like Black Klansman and all that. And I felt that Boys was a bit light, but it was more like. I don't want to say normies, but it was for regular people who could kind of watch it.
It was an entry. It was a gateway.
It was a gateway.
Yeah.
Like Society, that's like hard. That was hardcore. But but this one came out and made fun of them. And it made fun of the beginning, right? The beginning where it's like, my baby. And it's like, go ahead and him. Oh, okay.
No, you forget about earlier. They said 1 out of 3 black kids will be forced to sit through a movie. Let me tell you, it's true. I had to and then like 1 in 5 people will be shot in the movie.
and then the black guys who are innocent, they go into the shop and the Asians are super watching them, and the white guy's robbing them in front. Like he's literally robbing. He's literally taking the money out of the register while they're watching the black guy.
Hey! You forgot something.
Yeah, you forgot. You forget the
but also this movie really showed how Marlon Wayans is hilarious.
He's really funny.
One when he was doing that, he was posing with. He's like, "Quick fashion question. Try to get this Tech 9."
Yeah.
Or this Uzi with the low tops.
Yeah, that was really good. That was I gotta watch that again. Did you watch I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker? Because that's their take on blaxploitation.
Oh, yes.
I never saw that, man. And
really?
And, no. And the thing is like I actually like I'm not scared, but I'm like because I really like blaxploitation movies, and like I take them like kind of serious. I know Dolomite's cheesy, but like Cleopatra and Superfly and
your
Coffee and all those, like I actually like I admired, like Black Samson I thought was cool. Three the Hard Way is wicked. So I like those movies, and I was thinking, oh, are they making fun of it? Is it going to be? But then now I'm thinking it might be really fun to see them kind of poke fun at all the tropes or whatever.
Okay, man, they have one part where Jim Brown he shows
he's
up.
Great. Jim
Brown, and he sounds like he goes to Keen Ivory Wayne's like, what makes you think you could be a black hero? And Keen Ivory Wayne's just looking at him like, I'm an ex-football player. And Jim Brown. All right. Hey, I got nothing to say about
that. That's awesome.
Just jokes and jokes. Like, J-Man, get your wife, watch it, and be like,
okay,
wow.
I do have it, so I am gonna watch it. I just kind of forgot about it. It came out as part of the they re-released a lot of these and called it Soul Cinema. It was like a soul, and that's where I picked up. Sean, did you pick up Cotton Comes to Harlem? Have you guys seen? Have you seen Cotton Comes to Harlem?
No.
Oh my God, it is so good. It's Gravedigger Jones and Coffin Ed Johnson, and they're like this. They're like these two cops. That's kind of a not. I mean, everyone knows Foxy Brown and Coffee, and like Superfly and like and Cleopatra Jones and like kind of the generic ones.
Yeah.
But Cotton Comes to Harlem is actually wicked. The two guys are sick, and like I don't think it's that known because it came out as this set, and they had Coffee and all that, and I'm Gonna Get You Sucker was in that collection. And then this Cotton Comes to Harlem was in that collection. I never heard of it, and I just bought it because I was buying anything in that collection. And then I threw it in. I was like, holy shit, this is really cool. And I don't think too many people were talking about it. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. This would like obviously like.
Hey, if it's good, it's good. Doesn't matter what decade it came out in.
Yeah, like I don't know. I thought it was pretty neat. Did you watch it, Sean? You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Homeboys in Outer Space. I thought that was a Wayans Brothers thing, but I don't think it is. I thought it was produced by them.
Oh, which one?
Homeboys in Space?
Homeboys in Outer Space.
Let me check that out. I did not see that. I did not watch that.
Yeah, they showed it here. I liked it because I just liked it for the space adventures.
Right.
I felt like the people behind it really understood the genre, which you wouldn't expect. So,
Did you guys like Black Dynamite and all that with Michael Jai White?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right. It was pretty funny.
Awesome. He could be anything. He really, if you wanted a baseline Luke Cage, you just say Michael Jai White.
I like Michael Jai White a lot.
He's underrated, man. He's
Spawn. He was the best.
He was Spawn.
He was good.
But he was good even in like small roles like Dark Knight. He was good in that, and he had a great run on Arrow as Bronze Tiger.
Cool. He's Bronze Tiger.
Oh yeah, he was Bronze Tiger. I remember for a while he disappeared, and then Jay and I used to frequent Chinese shops to get like the latest Chinese movies and stuff.
Yeah.
And he turned up in Silverhawk, and I was like, "Why is he in Hong Kong now?"
Yes, cool. And I remember that too. I have that. Yeah, well, like I'm like a super crazy. Like you guys haven't seen and Sean has a lot too. Like we would hit the Chinese mall. There's a Chinese mall. And we would get official releases. Like I had Hero with Jet Li a year before that came.
Yeah,
talking about
they were advertising a year before, and then when it was in the Oscars, we were like, "What the hell?
What the hell?" It's like, dude, I had that movie a year ago. And I remember people saying, "Oh, Hero, have you seen that?" It's like, and literally, I remember this was happening at work. People were like, "Oh, have you seen that Jet Li movie, Hero?" I was like, "Hero." I was like, "Yeah." I said, "That's like from a year ago or so, right?" And the guy's like, "No, it's brand new." I'm like, "No, it's not." And this guy actually said, he said, "Oh, Tarantino did this movie." I said, Tarantino didn't create Hero.
No.
He's like, yes, he did. But Tarantino helped. He put his name on it.
He promoted a lot of those and like
presented it. They say presented by.
Yeah. And not the version that we had, right, Sean? Because I'm like,
it just says Hero, and it was $10. I remember that.
$10.
It's $10.
Yeah.
Entourage actually made a really like kind of a joke about him. He's like, Tarantino only steals from the best.
He does, yeah. Well, I mean, and you know, he likes all that grindhouse stuff. He likes the Asian stuff, so it's like,
no, that's great. I mean, like, hey, grindhouse, like his version of Death Proof is a really good movie.
I like Death Proof.
Yeah,
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that hasn't been shown as some sort of like, I mean, in this, you know, virtue Hollywood,
right?
Like, how come that movie hasn't been brought up? Like, hey, this is a really good girl power movie. It's a
I know it's loosely inspired by Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, which I have. And actually, Sean, were you with me when we met?
Yeah, I was there.
You were there, and we met.
She was like super old.
Were you there, Steve?
Yeah, I was
you were
there.
Steve.
Yeah, it was Blur Cinema. No,
it was Blur Cinema. Yeah. So we met. I'm totally forgetting her name now. Of course, I can look up
the main actress.
The main actress from
Santana.
Santana, yeah, from Faster Pussycat Kill Kill, and it's like Death Proof is sort of that. And Kurt Russell's the best, obviously, so he's awesome in it.
Funny thing is it's not only that virtue signaling Hollywood hasn't like put it on a pedestal. It's probably considered one of probably Tarantino's worst film.
Yeah,
it doesn't get talked about. It doesn't. That, and I would say Jackie Brown, which Jackie Brown is an awesome movie.
It really is.
Right, but
I love Jackie Brown a lot. I've got the soundtrack. I love Pam Grier anyways.
Right.
Even in Escape from LA, where she's playing a man.
She played a man.
Yeah. She was Hijack Malone, but he gets like a sex change and becomes Pam Grier. I remember one of our mutual friend for the two of us. He was so angry. He's like, they made Pam Grier. He loves Pam Grier. He's like, they made her into a man. I'm like, well, she still looked good. It's like, I don't know. Like, she was fine.
She's an actor. She's pretending.
But she was like a girl. Like, she looked like a woman, but it was supposed to be like she was a former man that got turned into
Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner
situation. She was a trans woman. Anyways, but I like Pam Grier anyway. But I thought and Robert Forster was the damn best, and that whole storyline was so good. Michael Keaton was great in that movie too. Everybody was great in that movie, and De Niro in this weird character.
Bridget Fonda.
Obviously, we know Sam Jackson's great, and Zeus, man, Tiny Lister. In there for a little bit. He's great.
I can't believe he's dead.
Yeah,
I know. He was scary. We were scared of him in No Holds Barred. Look, I don't care. Like, I don't care what and Sean, you're smiling already. Like, dude, look, No Holds Barred. I saw it at the theater, and when Zeus appeared,
I saw it in the theater too, man. It's awesome. It's so stupid that you feel like it's smart because it's like it's everything is calculated, man. It's so, but Zeus, like Tiny Lister as Zeus, was the epitome of evil. It's unrelenting in that film. Yeah, and he's scary. He's scary. And then they tried him out in some matches and stuff like SummerSlam and stuff.
Yeah,
and
he
was scary there. He wasn't a wrestler. He would just like go, oh, and he'd like beat his chest, and you're like, oh.
You know,
Steve's a. Go ahead, Gray. Go ahead.
Oh no. I was watching this old interview with him, and he was saying like, Vince McMahon brought me in, and I was hanging out with Macho Man all the time. Macho Man took care of me, and I'm like, wow. He's like,
Steve.
It was great.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. Steve is a big time wrestling guy, and
right here.
Yeah. You got wrestling guys.
Yeah. I just got this yesterday.
Yeah, and I've watched everything from WrestleMania 2. I never missed a pay-per-view. Excuse me. From WrestleMania 2, I never missed a pay-per-view or event on TV until WrestleMania like 25 or something or whatever. Like I never missed anything.
It was way past, and it was around 30 something.
Oh, maybe up to 30 something. Okay.
Yeah, because it sucks. It's getting. There's parts of it. You know what I do now? I watch the highlights because I can pick and choose the storylines I want to watch and ignore the rest. I generally watch the women now, like all the women. The men, it depends. Like, I'll see what Roman Reigns is doing. If I like the guy like Cesaro, I'll follow what he's doing.
Oh, Cesaro. Sure. Okay, I'm sorry. I love Cesaro. He's so good.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah. But like going back to Tiny Lister, that guy scared me in Armed and Dangerous. He was in Armed and Dangerous. That guy scared the crap out of me. And then the only person who understood the awesomeness of Tiny Lister, in my opinion, correctly, was Jean Reno, because he made him president of the universe in Fifth Element. And it's like I saw that, and it's like Tiny Lister. I'm like, finally, someone has figured out the right role for him. He was perfect. I'm like, this is
I love him in that.
Oh no, no, you're forgetting Dark Knight. Remember?
Most pivotal role in that whole movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
He didn't raise his voice. He's like, do it, and I'll do what you should have done 10
minutes. Yeah.
That was awesome.
You know what? Here you go. You know, I don't want this problem.
I like him a lot. He was great. He didn't have a big role. He was only in one scene.
Hey, it was a great scene though.
Yeah.
I like when Samuel Jackson, where he says to Robert Forster, he's like, "Oh, it was your idea to take that picture to show that he's got the big black bodyguard guy with him." That was super funny. It's just like tiny little Robert Forster and Lester's like this, and he's like, "Oh, it's your idea to take that photo, right? Just to show that this is the guy who's watching my back, so don't F with me." Right? That was funny.
But like Tiny Lester, he was great. He seemed like he was a really good guy. Anything bad to say about him, even on the Friday series. Like he was in only 2 Fridays, but like people wanted him back for the third one. So.
Yeah. The first Friday movie is one of my favorite comedies. Literally, like I think I cry the entire movie. I had to watch that movie so many times to pause it because like I was just laughing and laughing the whole way. It is so funny. No, crying from laughter.
Like, I got it.
The entire beginning when he loses his job. He's like, "Man, how'd you get fired on your day off?"
That happens.
And then the father, he comes and he pours the milk, and there's no milk, and he's like, "You better pour some water in that shit."
All right.
And he's like, "We have to eat government cheese. We have to line up and get government cheese."
Oh God.
And he's like,
that's the one thing about that whole franchise I always wondered about. How did he lose his job? Like
I know. I think he was trying to steal. I don't know. Yeah, he stole or something.
Stealing boxes, but we didn't get like a full. I think if this movie had came out later, we would have gotten a piece of dialogue that would have said like, "Oh, this and this happened," or like, "Oh, your boss didn't like you. He just set you up."
Yeah. Oh, that entire movie is so good. And like the father is like one of the funniest guys. He's famous, right? He's great in House Party as well.
Yeah,
he's the neighbor. He's the neighbor in House Party. He's like, "These damn kids," and he's like trying to call them.
Part two was hilarious.
You love House Party 2? I know. I like House Party. The first 2 are great. I know. You love House Party 2 just because Full Force is hired as security guards.
Right.
It's no sense.
But like, I think it's Kid. He's outside this room, and he ends up.
It's play. Yeah, play gets caught underneath.
He ends up underneath the bed with a blow-up doll. And there's 2 people having sex on top of him.
Right.
Yeah, so that's the guy. So in part 1, Kid gets the kid's running away from Full Force, and he goes to that guy's window, and then that guy's like with his wife or whatever. And then he pulls the gun out. He's like, "Holy shit!" And then Kid's running away. Dude, I've seen House Party a lot of times, man. And I just showed it to my wife about a month ago because she'd never seen it. I said, "Let's try House Party," because I think. Honestly, I like Kid and Play. I've got the soundtrack on my phone for House Party. Oh God! Look, Full Force. I like their song. I like the dance off. I like these dance movies because I always feel that like they're kind of cool. Yeah. And that was the first time. And I don't know how like we're dating ourselves here, but like when we saw Kid and Play do their shtick where they lock their feet and they jump and they kick back, we're like, whoa, this is really cool. Like we hadn't really seen. I know Michael Jackson obviously had a lot of amazing moves and stuff, but like Kid and Play, they're just like the connection, the way they like worked together. We're just like, wow, this is so cool. And they kind of after that didn't really go anywhere. It seems.
No. Well, they talk about a few hip hop documentaries I watch. They talk about like gangster rap killed dancing because a lot of rappers were dancing. Big Daddy Kane, Kid and Play, Heavy D, the Boys, a lot of them were dancing. But then NWA came out and everybody stopped. Everybody, it's like, no, it ain't cool to dance. They ain't gangster.
Right. I just felt there's so much talent.
Yeah, King Play blew up like pop culture wise. I mean, those movies, but they had like a freaking cartoon, man. They had like a Saturday morning cartoon and everything.
And they were big artists too, like Salt and Pepper. They were
Salt and Pepper. Yep.
Yeah.
And remember, Martin Lawrence appeared in as Bilal in the first couple House Party movies.
And the only reason why they did the third one was because like they didn't pay him enough money because he was a star at that point.
Yeah, at that point,
they were able to get Sydney back, the Tisha Campbell back. Tisha Campbell, a small cameo because she was doing Martin as well.
She became a pretty big as well. Yeah, Kid and Play were the only ones who really didn't go anywhere after those few. They had class acts. What was the other one? They had a few here and there, but like the first two I like House Party 2. House Party 1, obviously the father. Best line of all time is, "I got a weight problem. I can't wait to eat." That's my favorite. and he's like, he goes, "Dad, I gotta go to this party. All my friends are going to be there." He's like, "I don't care if Marvin Gaye is going to be there. You won't."
Remember how at House Party they always get? Oh, actually, the first two. They were always get harassed with those two cops, the white one and the black one, and they're like, "Hey, you got all disturbance," and they're all black.
The other cop's black too, isn't he? It's like
So and then they made Kid in full force, like basically emasculate him in front of all these wealthy people. And they're like, "Why are you guys even doing this? This is you need to go home, not go to jail."
Full Force is very funny in that too. They're actually very low key, very funny because it's like he's like, "Okay, we're gonna burn these people up," and then the other guy's like, and the thing he's like, "Yeah, I don't know about burning these people up." Like, like the guy's going too far.
But burning somebody's house down, that's too much.
I just don't know how Full Force got that security guard thing. Like, how was the interview? Like, how was the hiring process?
Hey, guys, I tell you, my day job, I work security.
No, but it's just like it's like all three of them, and they still look jacked. Like they're still. It's like who are these people?
The image. That's all.
They're so funny. But Ain't My Type of Hype. I listen to that all the time. And I'm like that nerdy guy who's like, rocking out to, like, because I like heavy metal, but like occasionally I'll throw in like Full Force, and it's like, why? I don't know, just because it's like I just like that, and it's like that guy's like, you're like, oh god, this is this embarrassing guy who thinks he knows what's going on, but I love that song.
See, that's like me. Like I'll listen to DMX, and all of a sudden I'll listen to like Goo Goo Dolls from the what was that one Nick Cage, City of Angels?
City of Angels.
Yeah, City of Angels. I saw that in the theater.
I saw that too. I don't know if I saw it in the theater. Did I see that?
I saw it in the theater. It was really weird. I don't know why I saw it in the theater, but I did. I was like, Nick Cage, sure, I'll go watch it.
That's when Nick Cage was like still like it's like it wasn't just like all cheese. Like,
he wasn't a joke. Yeah,
he wasn't a jokey character.
Yeah, that was around the time of like The Rock. He just won the Academy Award, and he done The Rock and I think Face Off.
Oh, that was a cool movie.
His two best movies.
Pretty much.
You know, I liked Nick later Nick Cage too. Like Knowing I liked a lot.
Oh yeah, that was all right.
The Wicker Man. They're not gonna bring your honey back.
Yeah, again, remake of a classic, not a good idea.
I'm never gonna watch that because the Wicker. Have you seen the real Wicker Man, the first movie?
Oh, I saw it. It's scarier.
Yeah.
It's chilling.
And then it's like it's like when you watch those like you see a gazelle on drinking water, and then all of a sudden you see a crocodile just grab it. That was the first Wicker Man. Scary.
Yeah. And Christopher Lee was the damn best.
Christopher Lee is scary at like
I know
everything.
Grandpa.
I just watched. I'm preparing for there. I have a guest who runs a Captain America podcast. He's coming on next Friday, and so I've been rewatching some of the Captain America stuff, and I rewatched the two Reb Brown made for TV movies. And Christopher Lee is the villain in the second one. And shit, that's a cheese movie, but he's scary in that. For Christ's sake,
he's scary.
It's like he's scary in that movie. And I'm like,
wasn't he Zod?
No, that's Terrence Stamp.
that's Terrence Stamp.
It's Terrence
Oh,
Stamp.
right.
Terrence Stamp is my Sean.
The
Sean
other
bought
British
me
guy
this
with the
odd toy. I
goatee.
got it up there.
Yeah.
I love Terrence Stamp.
Guys, I got a jet. I got to get ready for dinner because also
All right, cool.
intermittent fasting, and I got 30 minutes.
All right, man. Thanks so much. You're coming. So Sunday again, we're doing it.
Yeah.
If you want to come on, come on. You always got an open invite.
I'll be here.
All right.
Sean,
Take
Steve,
care.
J-Man.
Take care, Gray.
All right.
Wonder Woman 1984 was. I still haven't seen it. Bye.
Oh man, that was good.
Oh man, let me see if I lost any subscribers. Too bad there's not a time code where I can see where I lost them. It's like, let's see. Oh, I did lose one. Damn it. Oh well. What are you gonna do?
It was Brennan.
No way. He's not gonna. He's not gonna do me dirty like that. No. I had 666 subscribers the other day, and I thought, I'm like,
Did
this
you
not good.
They go up from
It
there?
went up to 667, and then I lost one or two. I don't know. The thing is, the thing is, look, the truth is going to come out, so I may as well just be upfront right away. But like, so Sean, there's no Supermans this week.
No.
Or
what's
Flash.
next week? Do you know?
I always check it. Like, I'll check it on Monday because I'll go Tuesday.
Yeah.
I added Suicide Squad, and so now I've got. I'm not saying you guys have to do these, but I've got the 2 Batmans, the 2 Supermans, Wonder Woman, Nightwing, Joker, Flash, Suicide Squad. That's for DC. Marvel, all X-Men titles. I dropped no, I didn't drop Captain Marvel. I dropped Captain Marvel physically. I dropped pretty much I'm dropping all the X-Men books physically now because there's so many of them. It's just easier for me to get them digitally because then when I wake up on Wednesday morning, they're all ready to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, but because DC comes out on Tuesdays, it gives me extra time, so I'm okay. Because if I have them digitally, I can read them on the go. Like if I'm on my lunch break or whatever, I can read my comics. It's tough to. I don't really carry my comics. This ain't the old days. I don't carry my comics around anymore. Yeah. So, but because DC comes out on Tuesdays. And if you guys are getting them digital, you can get them basically at midnight Tuesday, and that's easier for everybody. Sorry, yeah, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, that's what I did. Like with the last one, Tuesday night, I downloaded them and just read them.
Yeah, so you get them. Yeah, and
I bought them and download them.
If you have a subscription to them, you'll get them like at midnight. Like you'll wake up and you'll have them ready to go. Like I literally read one. Like I'll read one in the bathroom. Before I even leave for work, right? So I can usually power through all of those. I've been powering through Invincible. Sean, did you catch up? We won't talk about it right now. I'll shut this down in probably the next 20 minutes or so or whatever. We can start to wrap up.
I've seen all the shows. I think
4 episodes.
So they come out on Fridays. I thought they came out on Tuesdays for some reason, but
okay, so they come out on Friday. So I will try to watch Invincible on Friday, so we can talk about it or at least Friday, Saturday, so we talk about it because I'm caught up on the 4.
Yeah.
Steve, did you catch up on the 4?
Yeah.
Okay, so I've now read up to issue 20 now of Invincible. This episode was addressed in the comics.
Yeah.
Now, Sean, you weren't here last week when we talked about this.
No.
You have read 0 comics, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm still on the fence as to whether I want to or not. I want to be surprised by this. This isn't that many episodes, I think. So
why don't you finish the series and then go back if you want?
Yeah, then I'll go back and read the comics.
So don't give this away because Steve doesn't know and I don't think he's looked it up and Greymalkin doesn't know. Do you know the explanation of Omni-Man's actions in the episode 1 or no?
No.
Okay. Yeah, because I do know, and
I have suspicions. I think it's pretty obvious, like about his history and stuff. But
so okay, yeah, right. Because we had a very very minor discussion, which maybe we'll continue. We'll continue that discussion with the next episode. Let's see what happens.
Yeah,
they've changed. The comic is actually very fast. Yeah. Like this episode that was just on with the aliens, like going to Mars and all that, that was covered in like 1 issue very fast. And it pretty much happens how it happens on, except there's more exposition because it's a comic, so there's more describing things. I think the comic is ultimately better, which, I mean, it is what it is. I think the cartoon is doing a pretty good job of representing the comics, but it's I don't know, the order is all different, like, because Omni-Man's all been explained by now, and all this is happening after the fact. And it's so weird to watch it. You know, it's like it's almost like they figured out that the Omni-Man mystery is more interesting than anything else that happens, so they're saving that, because that whole thing was dismantled very fast. Like, and Invincible is very fast. Like, things get introduced and then they're done. And they now, this is not in the cartoon, so I can say this. There's a character who's literally going around to every dimension and getting himself. It's like that Jet Li movie, The One. Remember when Jet Li was going to different dimensions?
Are they doing it for the same reason? Like, it's like the Highlander
it hasn't been
theory?
It has not been explained yet. And one of the prime factors of this character, he's getting help from the blue guys, the clones. So it's like, that's not even been addressed, and that's already happening in the comics.
It's weird because when I was watching the show, I don't know if I read some of it on and off, because I don't think I have any of the issues in my bins. Or maybe I read about it in Wizard Magazine or something like that. I don't know if it stretches back that far, but like Alan the Alien, I remember that whole sequence, and I'm like, where do I remember that from? There's something else too that I had deja vu. It's like, I feel like I read this. What the hell's going on here? I don't know. I don't think I've read this comic at all. But those things, maybe I read an article or something like that in Wizard or something. I don't know.
I read, I have not. I read zero. So I was not on board. I'm a DC Marvel guy. So I never tried too many independents. I did try Firepower, which I liked. I read the first couple.
I might indie comics are big now. It's like its own, like, things can be really, really popular, and it's like it doesn't belong to Marvel or DC anymore. And that's weird to, like, kids growing up like in the 80s and 90s. Is like, we're like, what the hell? Like,
I can't let go of Superman and Batman. You know, I can't let go of it. I can't let go of it. It's like, and even Suicide Squad now, I'm like all into this now. So it's like, it's hard for me to drop these. And then if I'm getting Batman, well, I got to get Robin and Nightwing, because I actually love Nightwing. He's like one of my favorite characters. Not like Robin or whatever in any form is one of my favorites. I have tons of Robin stuff. So and then you're like, well, I got to get Wonder Woman. I've been collecting Wonder Woman. Out of everybody, Wonder Woman was the most that I have. I have the most Wonder Woman comics of any other DC character. And that's because I was with the Perez relaunch after Pre-Crisis or whatever, and that's kind of, I have a lot of that stuff. So I just can't give it up. But I never did Invincible, but I would suggest getting it. I mean, I don't know if it's still on sale, because there's 3 compendiums
until like May.
Well, it's 3 compendiums, and it was like, it came out to like 60 Canadian. I think it was like $20 each or whatever it was. And I was like, I'm just gonna get it. It's very, very easy reading, actually. Like, you can power, like I'm doing 5 or 6 in one sitting. Like, I'll do like 5 in a sitting. You know what I mean? So like, I'm on 20 right now. So it's like, and the only reason I stopped is because I had to get into these, and there's X-Men books as well I had to read. So it's easy to read. I think you can get through it pretty quickly. I don't know what's going on next week, and Falcon and Winter Soldier. And there's no Superman this week because it's stupid Supergirl. I started watching Black Lightning this season. Have you guys seen this season of Black Lightning?
No, not this season, no.
Oh, there's games and some weird things are going on where Black Lightning doesn't want to be Black Lightning. And I'm like, I hate that. And then he's like drinking, and he's having problems with his wife. And then his wife is having dinner with Tobias Whale, but it's obvious because he forced her, but then he sees her. I'm thinking, why are they doing these
stupid old tropes? Now he thinks they're together, but they're not. Like, what the heck, man?
Come on.
They were doing so well with that show, like, and then Jennifer leaves. It's kind of like, I don't like that idea either.
She hasn't left yet.
Right.
I've seen the first 4 episodes. She hasn't left yet, so I don't know when she leaves. Maybe the 5th or 6th. Like, it's got to be pretty soon, because there is only 6 or 7 out there, and I've watched the first 4. And she's still Jennifer. It's the same actress. So I have no idea when that actress leaves. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't know. It's still cool. Like I like Jefferson Pierce and all that. But yeah, I just like I don't know. It's all right. There's yeah, we'll chat more about all that on Sunday's stream. Steve, Saturday evening is going to be our thing with our other friend, which you know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, but Friday, tomorrow you're back on, right?
Yeah.
All right, you guys. Yeah. Any last words before I'll move you guys out, and then I'll just say a couple of closing things. Anything else to add? Are you guys good?
I'm good.
No, I'm
Yeah.
good.
All right. Okay. I'm just gonna put you backstage for a minute.
Okay.
All right. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna wrap it up for today, and thanks for everyone who's watching and commented. Steve's links and Greymalkin's links are in the description for the video, so you can check them out. Greymalkin has a channel. Steve's an author, so you can check out their stuff. I'm going to be back tomorrow, and we're going to be doing The Amazing Fans. So we're going to be talking to two people. Steve's one of them, and we have another guest coming on. We're going to talk about Incredible Hulk, who's a character that Steve really loves. And if you want to be a part of one of these Amazing Fans segments, it doesn't have to just be X-Men. It could be anything. You can just email me or get in touch with me through any of my videos, comment, whatever, and we'll set something up. So that's going to be tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We won't go too long, probably like maybe an hour or so on that. And then we're going to be back in the Danger Room with open panel. I'll put the link in the chat so people can come join us. And we're going to be talking about Invincible, Falcon, all that stuff, whatever you want to talk about. Open forum, anything nerd related. Lots of DC stuff coming out, lots of rumors and Star Wars stuff. We can talk Star Wars because we're Star Wars nerds as well. So, that'll be it. All right, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.